the Guinea Pig Collective. All will be assimilated. Resistance is futile.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Going Old School Retro Discussions. Here we are with a special presentation to all my American friends. We are wishing you in advance a happy 4th of July, and to all our friends around the world, well, we hope you're having a good day anyway. So what's going on to everybody in the chat? We're going to say hi to them first, because the chat is always what matters most, and thanks to everybody. It's got me over 1,700 subs, but YouTube still hates me. Remember that. Most hated guinea pig on YouTube. What's going on? Papa Cotton in the house. What's up, Papa? You were doing well. Bone is in the house. What's up, Bone? Trina sitting up in the chat. Happy 4th, everybody. And Bone is sitting there with the flag. And I'm actually kind of shocked that I can see that on StreamYards. And let's go ahead and say hi to the lovely victims on my panel tonight. We got Trina from Real Horror. What's going on, Trina?
Not much. Happy to be here. Happy 4th of July, everybody.
It's a pleasure to have you here. We also got with us our representation from the Big Apple. We got Slasher. What's up, buddy?
What's good? Happy 4th.
Yeah, man. Getting ready for another good one right here. We're going to have some fun. And, of course, our UK representation. We got Jens. What's up, Jens?
Terrible. It's that time we have to remember we lost the war to America.
Party har har.
Well, I'll tell you what, we are enjoying it. But anyway, hey, what's going on, Nelson? Nelson's in the house as well. I'm here to talk stuff and chew booby gum. Booby gum. Nice. You must be Roddy Pooper. What's going on, Nelson? It's good to see you, man. So I want to start this. I want to kick this off and open it up right talking about something old school. Let's see how many people remember this one. This one is going back a little bit of ways. This is back when the fun stuff was happening with a lot of different toy lines, where every company was picking up a movie franchise and making a run for the mad dash of toy merchandising to sell. This one was no different, and here we go. Let's take a look. Let's see how many of you remember this one. Everybody, what's going on? And welcome back to Going Old School. We're going to dig right in from something from 1991, Terminator 2. From Kenner, we've got the Terminator endoskeleton with Techno Punch. Why is it Techno Punch? Well, because he has these two bands on the side, and you put his arm out and he twists his body, and he snaps right back for a punch. Really cool looking piece from 1991. He had bends right here at the elbows. Of course, he had movement up in the ear and the arm. No out or nothing like that, just up and around. The head did not turn. Of course, the waist turned because of the punching action, and the legs did kick up and kick back a little bit. No D-bends whatsoever. Really cool looking piece, I think. One of the other cool things about these figures at the time is most of them had this, put that light over top and the eyes kind of glow a little bit. I used to love when they used to put that piping in there for the eyes. Anyway, guys, This is old school. This is going old school, and this is what it's all about, checking out the toys from the past. What do you guys think about this one? Do you guys remember this one? Let us know about it.
Very cool.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love those figures, man. I love those figures. There was one other thing I didn't mention when I actually put that mini review together is actually when you turn his arms, it actually looks like the pistons are moving as well.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, those are cool. That was a cool line.
They had a ton of different. Some of the other ones in that line were not quite as well thought out as that one. Like there was the Terminator with the exploding front face that came off because it kind of looked like Arnold, and the whole front blew away, and it looked kind of like an endoskeleton.
Yeah,
Then they had that really horrible T-1000 cop,
the cop with
bent
the
over with missiles coming out of his back and ass or something.
Yeah, that one looked bad. But some of them look cool. The one later on they did where it's him in the liquid metal form. That one looked cool.
Yeah, they did, and they did. My brother was saying they did John Connor's, and then he said there was also a chase figure for Sarah Connor. But, because he said, but because of course it's chase figure, it was really hard to find that one.
I knew there was the John Connor with the motorcycle figure. I knew that.
Right. And my brother, I think he said he thought he might have had that or did have it, but the Sarah Connor one, he said I don't think he said he ever seen it.
Didn't even know they had it. Wow.
Yeah, interesting stuff. Brian Criscal is in the house. What's up, Six Gun Gorilla? Hope that you were doing well. Guys, if you haven't, check out Brian's work. Six Gun Gorilla is a fantastic series of books. I've got just about every single one of them already. If I don't have all of them already, I forget. I think I got them all. I'm starting to lose my mind. And Soul Assassin, what's going on, Soul Assassin? It's good to see you. Surprised NECA didn't remake. Yeah, they did. But we're keeping it old school today. Hey, you're treating it Slasher McSplitter. Forget about it. Kai MFS is also in the house. What's up, Kai? I hope that you were doing well. To Kai, maybe not. I am a nasty pickle, and I do bite toes, guys. Anybody can share Brian's links for his books in the chat. Go ahead and do it, Brian. I don't know if you're modded. I would have to check that. Anybody else want to talk about that Terminator? Why check to see if Brian is modded so you can link his books?
He is modded.
They made a gold one too, right? Didn't they make a gold one of those later on?
Yes. Oh God, I forget what that was. It was like a special edition one that they did, where it's like that bronze gold looking color.
And they had the glow in the dark one. Yeah,
yep.
that was a cool line.
That was a fun line. I enjoyed it. Go ahead, Jens.
I'm just gonna drop out because I brought up some, but I'm on my phone right now, so I've got to get on my laptop. So,
all right, no problem. And what's up, Luffy? I can't. Dark Faith broke me. I can't look at Arnold anymore. I hear you. But we're going to stick to the good stuff, the fun stuff, the stuff from back then, because you know what? That's what this show has always been about for me, and that's what it should always be about. Looking back on all those wonderful franchises, toys, comics, books, whatever it was from the past, and just having a good old nostalgic trip down memory lane, because that's the way it should always be. I mean, there's a time and a place for the culture war shit. Going old school is not one of them. Luffy?
Yeah,
Luffy?
I meant to tell you that a while ago. It's a Luffy, yeah.
Okay, not a problem. I'll remember that. Luffy is God. Oh, he's never corrected me, at least not that I recall. You let me pronounce your name wrong all this time? Jesus. Where's George Lucas at when you need him? There you go. Awesome. Six Gun Gorilla. Guys, check it out. Jens has got something for us here. What do you got, Jens? No, there you go.
Yeah, there they are. Yeah, that T-1000 is fucking cool. I like that.
Yeah, that first one. Yeah, that's the one on the end is the one with the
that one sucks. That one sucks.
Gun or whatever it was.
I mean, it's cool that they gave him the highway patrol uniform, but his action was pretty lame.
It was pretty lame. There's George. What's up, George?
they're different ones, I think.
Oh, those
yeah.
are the NECA ones? Yeah, those are the NECA ones.
Yeah. But yeah, the a gold one there, though.
Why does the Liquid Terminator look like the T1000 in that one? You look kind of like ice colored.
Yeah, it looked like one of them. You remember when you used to be able to get like Dracula, the Mummy, and the Werewolf, and Frankenstein, and you used to be
Oh,
able.
the glow in the dark ones.
Well, no, I remember them though. No, they used to come in like a little paint sort of thingy where you used to paint them yourself.
Oh, like a model,
Yeah. They used to always be in like advertised and that in comic books. So, you just look like one of them before you paint it up. It looks like it needs painting, you know.
Yeah, you're talking about those when you're talking about the Universal and Slasher mentions the glow in the dark ones. I have fond memories of all those glow in the dark action figures from Universal Monsters, and to this day, when I go get anything that maybe new, and I don't want to touch on this because that's not where we're leading, but I still get the glow in the dark ones because of those old school ones. I love those old school ones, and they weren't the most highly detailed figures in the world, but for what they were at the time, I thought they were awesome. As a matter of fact, as I was digging through the crates, getting out this Terminator and a few of the other figures and everything that I'm going to be showing off tonight, one of the things I did find was a few of those old Universal Monster figures, the 3 3/4 inch ones, where it was just the arms and the legs and moves. But one of them was actually the creature from the Black Lagoon, and it actually had a press feature in the center of its chest where it used to light up. Unfortunately, the batteries have since died and it doesn't light up anymore. But yeah, really cool looking pieces, man. I really did appreciate those things back in the day, and it's carried over to this day.
You still like the glow in the dark ones?
Yeah, absolutely. And every one that they do, you know, that comes out, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for those glow in the dark ones.
Hey Jens, click. All right, the picture where you have underneath where there are. You see the 3 Terminators underneath the picture you have, and to the left.
That one.
Go to the left though. The left. The left of the picture. Yeah, that one.
Oh.
No. No, the one. The next one.
One right next to it.
What?
Where
Go
you
up.
were.
Go up.
Where you were.
Go up.
That
To
one.
the left.
To the left.
The left.
Left one.
That one.
No.
One over to the left.
Left
One picture over to the left. No, that's
The other way.
the other
Your
one.
other, yeah, there you go. That one.
Yes, that one.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah. I think that's the glow in the dark one.
Yes, it is. You could see the glow in the dark lettering right above it, and you can see the glow around the figure.
That's cool how he looks like he's all like burnt up.
Yeah.
See, Bone knew. He knew. On the left. Luffy is God. Terminator had one rule: dark faith. John Connor can't die. Yeah, right. Junk. That's why I'll never watch it. Backseat computing. Oh my goodness. I do recall that they did have a few other figures that just look completely misplaced in this line when they were doing Terminator 2. It had nothing to do with the movies, like that one guy with the claw.
Yeah.
Like it was just like some ridiculous figures that they wound up coming up with for this line.
They
I mean, if they would have just stuck with different versions of the ones that are actually from the movies, they could have did really well with this line. But they started doing stuff like that. The Cybergrip villain.
Yeah, and they had this one with like he had like a friggin' head with bull horns or something. There was another. One. Yeah. Oh, I think those are supposed. That was like the last line. I think Tenor did them. I guess they just had to get a little bit different, you know. They couldn't keep cranking out T1000s and T800s.
There goes to John Connor and the bike. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I think there was plenty of ways they probably could have extended that line without rehashing and without just making like figures that had absolutely nothing to do with the movie. There was a way to do it. I mean, you know what? There were so many options, really, when you think about those first two movies and some of the flashbacks they did with the Terminators on Earth in the future, with the machines and everything like that, that they could have did. They could have did the flying Terminators. They could have did the big tank Terminator. There were so many options. So many options.
They could have made a Reese figure.
They could have made any of those soldiers just like a standard soldier figure from the future. There was a lot of things they could have did, but failed to do. But I mean, even then, for what it was, I still think that this line was pretty cool. I really do like the endoskeleton Terminators, though. That, to me, that was the thing to get from this line.
Yeah, they still look good for friggin' 30 years later, you know?
Especially for something that really didn't have much articulation.
Yeah. That's kind of weak, though. I didn't know. I never had this one, but I didn't know his knees couldn't bend. They should have been able to, you know, do a little bit better with that. But other than that, it looks cool.
Yeah,
I like how Kenner started doing all these R-rated movie lines like this and RoboCop and Aliens, Predator.
No, it just made sense, you know. Just made sense with the success that they already had with Star Wars. Why not?
No, I'm just saying because it was an R-rated movie line, you know. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, the thing got away with.
Anything else on Terminator?
Cattle.
Jens?
No, I like don't really remember these much, but by the time Terminator got released, I was at that age where I was going out drinking, so like I'd have might have seen them, but I was probably too wrecked to remember them. But obviously, I remember some figures getting released by the Terminator franchise, so sort of thing. Because but as I say, I never really noticed them at the time because there might not have been all that, and I wasn't going into toy stores and all like at that time, so they might have been in British toy stores and that, but yeah.
It depended how drunk you were at the time, right? Whether you wander into a toy store aimlessly or not.
Yeah, well, let's just say at the time I was trying to be a boy toy for the women, so I like because I tell you what I do remember was like we call it plasticine, but there's Play-Doh. You Americans will know it more as well, plasticine and Play-Doh. Anyway, it was a Terminator thing where you'd put a little case on them.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it makes the fake. It made the fake skin.
Yeah.
There was the factory, right? They had the factory.
Yeah. That's like the only sort of Terminator 2 toy I remember, and like I only remember it. I think maybe one of my mates, like younger brother or whatever, might have had it or something at the time.
Hey, what's going on? I'm Not Creative 22, man. I hope that you were doing well.
Hello.
Talking about a little bit of the Terminator 2 figures from 1991 from Kenner, man. And what's up, Squibs? King of Squibs is in the house. What's up, buddy?
Hey.
So I am going to hand it over to one of our panelists. I know some people said that they were going to come in here with some topics. So, Slasher, did you have something that you wanted to lean into?
If you give me 1 second, I will get what I was going to talk about. Let me just take my headset off and get what I was going to get.
Yeah, well, whilst Sasha's doing that, Tommy, share this. There's that. Play-Doh, Terminator 2.
Well, we're waiting.
That for me? Oh, that's
Yeah, the BioFlesh regeneration playset. Yep. Yeah, I recall this. They were doing a lot of stuff like that with a lot of these different franchises, because I remember even like with Ghostbusters, they had like a Play-Doh type set where you would actually make ghosts and stuff like that.
Yeah. Hey, look. Is that battling a Terminator battling robots? I think it is, isn't it?
Yep, Rock and Sock and Terminators.
Yep.
Yeah. Rock and Sock Terminators, yeah.
That's pretty cool. I love that stuff, man. You know, and it really would be nice to see that come back again. I love those old things. I see a few retro toys here and there, but just not as often as I want. All right.
This guy right here.
Oh, the Juggernaut.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Marvel Legends from, I'd say 2003 or 2004. Toy Biz, back when Toy Biz was making the Marvel figures. The big motherfucker, this guy.
So did he come with anything in the packaging? Because you know how they were doing the X-Men, and usually they all came with like a Sentinel or something like that.
Yeah, nah, he didn't. I think he had the gate for the. Yeah, behind it, he had a little base behind him. It was the gate for the Xavier School.
Okay.
And the bars were all smashed out. I don't know where that is right now, but this is my favorite thing. That fucking that haircut he got. That's like a little kid's haircut in Catholic school or something.
Yeah, it looks like
he's got a lot of articulation too for a Juggernaut. Yeah.
Yeah, I always thought Juggernaut's neck would be bigger, but obviously it isn't.
Well, he kind of got like a hump on the back.
When you get big like that, you don't have a neck anymore, Jens.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like his neck could move around too much in this helmet, right?
Now here's a question with the detail and everything. Because I remember these Marvel Legends. I got two of them sitting on my wall back there. I've got Gambit and I've got Thor, the old school Thor from that line. Did they put the gem on the inside of the helmet or not?
Nah, he doesn't have the gem.
See, now that would have been smart.
He didn't even come with it loose. Yeah, that would have been cool. But yeah, that's what I've got to show right now.
That's awesome.
Those Marvel Legends figures were really good. Like, it's when they moved up from the scale, when they went from like the smaller scale, like the original Toy Biz line, to the bigger figures.
Yeah, like I said, I only got two. I only got Gambit and Thor, but there was a Wolverine one that was like, it was amazing looking. I wanted that so bad, and I want to say they had the Hulk too.
Oh, do you have the Wolverine where like the base is a bunch of like beat up members of the Hellfire Club? Is that the one?
No, that's the one I wanted to get. I think. I think it was because I think they did two of him. They did one like that, and I think they also did one with. I want to say it was Sentinels on the ground around them.
Oh, yeah. They made quite a few Wolverines. They even had him with his leather jacket, and he came with a bike.
Yeah.
Oh, those were really good figures.
Really good line. Really good line.
Yeah, they started doing the Build-A-Figure sets too. Like they had you get these 7 guys, and you get to complete a big ass Galactus figure, shit like that.
I think one of the sets I think you did. I think it was Apocalypse.
Yeah, they have. From what I understand, there's Apocalypse, Sentinel, Mojo, Juggernaut. I mean, not Juggernauts. Galactus. I forget who else they made. I think they made Giant Man. But yeah, I was huge into those things when they were out.
Oh, Juggernaut, bitch. Respect the beard. What else we got here? Only Marvel figure I have is that 12-inch Deadpool figure. I mean, I'm not Iron Man. They hate this target lock missiles fire. Yeah, man, go ahead, smash the hell out of that thing. And if it doesn't work, just keep doing it. Sooner or later, YouTube's going to get tired. What's up, Curtis, man? Lurk mode, engage because he's at work. All good, my friend. All good. It's good to see you, man. So, does anybody else have a topic? Jens, did you have a topic you wanted to lean into?
Yeah.
Go ahead. The floor is yours.
I'll share it because we all, as kids, and that we all had days. If you was a boy, anyway. If you was a girl, maybe not. But toy soldiers and that, like
green one, the little green ones in the bag.
Yeah.
Well, but they're like starter pack in it. Like we all had them and that, but because it's that war time that America likes to celebrate all the time, I thought I'd bring up some.
These are cool. So you guys had these over there?
You have them everywhere and that because there's I'll have to bring up a screenshot of it, but there's a scene in Living Daylights.
Did he lose his mic?
What?
Or did I lose internet connection?
Yeah. I don't know, but Living Daylights at the end where there's a big setup because they set them up in war scenarios and that, and you can play games with them, but they don't. They prefer to have it like a picture of a battle and that, and so they don't really play with. Well, sometimes they do and that,
So when you guys over in England play with these guys, do you pretend that these guys lose?
Well, I do because have you noticed this here? I'm not trying to dishearten America.
No, I'm only joking, dude.
On their greatest day, but right, look at the red coats, all action, and that.
Yeah, masculine action.
Yeah. And now look at the blue coats.
These are actually cool.
Bit of a drummer boy. Look,
that is cool.
they're following a drummer boy around. How did they? It was the numbers. I think it was a numbers game. I don't know. I don't want to go on about it because it was like 200 years ago, or 230 odd years ago. So. 60 look at this, blue coats and all. What are they doing? They just sat around walking, doing nothing. Look, they haven't even got the guns. Look how relaxed they are.
They don't have to point their guns because they know they're going to win. They know they're going to win.
This is probably after they've won and they're like coming home and that. But...
So, Jens, do you have a set of these?
No.
I was going to say, I bet these are like worth something.
Oh yeah. These will be collectors. Ooh, I was I did have a bunch of the plastic ones that
Tommy's gone. What? He dropped?
Oh yeah, he's probably upset about me talking about the forefathers in a disgraceful way.
No, I doubt that.
Well, just in case Tommy comes back and I suddenly leave. This is about 4th of July. This is America. This is American pie. We don't have time for limeys on the
I love when Brits always think whenever Brits try to mimic our accent, they make us all sound Southern.
Okay, well, that's because the Southern accent's so nice. I love the Southern drawl. And a lot of cowboy films, because it's not as bad as now, but like there used to be a time where America was doing cowboy films all the time. So you'd always get some like, "Hey, Ma, the sheriff's coming to town."
Yeah. Tommy will be right back. He's got internet troubles. What else is new?
Yeah,
His
yeah,
stupid internet provider.
yeah. Here we go though. Here's the plastic ones that, like, because not only did you have like the green, like U.S. Army,
Yeah.
so like World War II. So yeah, you had like cowboys and Indians,
Yeah.
like Turkish sort of like.
You know what I had? I found this once in candy stores they used to have the little racks with really, really cheap toys on them. Every once in a while you'd go in there and you'd find some cool ones. They had ninjas. They had a ninja set like this.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Yeah, it was fucking awesome. I don't have any of them left. I wish I at least had one of them left.
Yeah. Because like I remember having some knights in armor and that, and yeah, some of them like there was a little bit better because on the like knights' helmets, the like face guard would lift up. It was only a little plastic little face guard, but some of them would lift up a little bit, and so like the looked more realistic.
I remember there was a board game too. There was this medieval board game that someone in my family had gotten for Christmas once. And the board game was all these little plastic, it was like, they came with the little stands, like the army men and shit.
Yeah.
They had like an ogre. They had like a giant snake. They had shit like that.
Yeah.
I forget what the name of the game was called.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It was like early 80s, like early or mid 80s, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not creative as asking you, Jens, how's things over in the UK right now?
Yeah, not too bad, touch wood. Nigel Farage has had his bank account like sort of frozen and that. Like they're not letting him bank.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And like, if anyone who don't know who Nigel Farage is, he's the one who like was the head sort of dude who organised Brexit or got the like Brexit vote sort of thing. So he's like our Donald Trump.
Trina, you got anything any old school toys to show off?
I have no old school toys to show off. I was very stupid and I got rid of all my old toys when I was a kid. And and I so regret it because, oh man, like old Barbies and stuff that would probably be worth money now. My Little Ponies, like the old school ones, Strawberry Shortcake, Smurfs, all those things that I don't have anymore. Even like one thing I really, really regret is I had the old NES and games, and I got rid of that because I thought, well, I'm older now, so I'm not going to use this anymore. So, like, instead of just putting it away, I just got rid of it. Yeah. Oh, what I wouldn't give to go back and change that decision.
I think I have maybe about 30%, 30% of my old toys left.
At least
When I started going eBay crazy, I started getting some of the old Joes that I had lost back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally understand that.
And I still have a couple NES games floating around. I don't have the system, but I have the games.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, and look at this. I finally found some like American independence soldiers firing the guns, which is a bit crazy. Like, you'd think most of them would be like firing the guns, but
Well, I remember getting the packs of the little green army men.
yeah,
There was always a couple of useless guys in the batch. There was the guy on his stomach. There was always the guy on his stomach crawling on the floor. He was always useless. There was the guy with the mine detector.
yeah. The one with
Those
the,
guys
like,
are always useless.
yeah, communications with the walkie-talkie backpack thing.
Yeah, shit like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Tony, I see you in the chat. I can't highlight your comment because I don't have those abilities, but I wanted to tell you that I see you. And hey, DJ
Tony.
Ronnie G.
Hey, DJ. I'm not creative. Bone, Soul Assassin.
Yeah, these are cool. I wonder what these are going for, like on eBay right now.
Oh, well, depends, because, like, these will, like, well, not these I'm showing now because I don't know, but there will be figures from, like, the 18 or 1900s and that, like, because I think because they did them lead, and so I think they've been doing them, like, so years and that, so you'll probably have, like, 200-year-old like soldiers or like that, and so they'll be worth loads.
Yeah. Hey, Time Prophet, how's it going?
What's up, Time Prophet?
I think though, because you can get them in different sizes and that, but your normal sort of like what the like plastic soldiers used to be sort of size, like an inch.
Mm-hmm.
They made some of these that were metal.
Yeah.
They came with these little pegs on their feet where you stick them into the stands.
Yep.
Yeah, because like the did them for like people who wanted to, instead of having a train set.
Yeah, they wanted a big war diorama.
Yeah, and so there was like done so you could like do like loads of like different battles and wars and that.
Yeah, people have really like there are some people who have set up huge dioramas of those, like certain battles. They look awesome.
Yeah. Like as I say, like in I'm sure it's The Living Daylights. Yeah. At the end, Bond goes in to fight this general dude, and this general dude's got like a war room that's got loads of like war battles, sort of like in glass cages. I mean, in glass cabinets. So,
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and at the end, sort of thing, like spoilers, but it is like 30-year, nearly 40-year-old film in it. But the general dies by a statue falling on him and smashing him into like one of his war soldier reenactment thing. Yeah, Time Prophet's like, whoa, the living daylights, living daylights. Oh yeah, time probably. Jens, don't tell me James Bond wins the day. Well, not in No Time to Die or No Time to Shag.
I'll be back. I'll be back in a second.
Okay.
But even that though, he does win the day. Of course, James Bond wins the day. He's a superhero, James Bond.
Yeah.
He's like Batman, but
Yeah.
like,
I was just gonna say that actually.
Yeah, but without the like cowl and cape.
Yep.
Oh, Time Prophet says that he hasn't seen the latest Bond film, which was No Time to Die. You don't want to see. Well, you might want to see it because the action is all right in it. They know like let's get the action, but the storyline. Ooh, it's like what Slasher had his problem with the Punisher films, where they're not exactly right, but the action's good in it.
Yeah. Time Prophet says he's seen every Bond movie except for the new one. He just doesn't want to watch it. Yeah, I can understand that. Happy 4th to you as well, Bone.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to rewrite the ending of that film, and obviously, like I'm gonna do it on my channel and that do a video of it. So don't think it's getting a video release. I'm not doing a like Snyder cut of that film for a studio. Just do it personally. But yeah, the end of that film could easily been done. So
Hey, I am back. I am back. What is going on? What's up, Monotony? What's up, Time Prophet? What's going on, fellas? It's good to see everybody stopping by and having some fun talking about the old school. What's up, DJ Ronnie G, man? Good to see you as well. Jesus, you know what? I just want to take a moment and just tell LCEC that they could suck my fuzzy guinea pig nuts. But, you're talking about these figures right here. Do you remember like the real old figures? Because most of us remember the plastic ones. Do you remember the ones that were actually made out of lead?
Yeah. I was saying, like, I'm sure they was done sort of like in water or even before. Maybe that there was done even before the War of Independence, because like there'd have been other wars fought, and so like you had like them lead salt. But yeah, I was saying like like 200, 300-year-old soldiers that year, and I think even they go more back, but they was carved out of wood.
Yes, they were. I was going to mention that if you didn't. Yeah, there were wood ones that were. Like my parents actually had a few of the older lead ones, and then later on they actually started making some of them out of it wasn't quite steel, but it was like tin or something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Is it not mercury? But yeah, it was made out of like a tin, I think, or something like
And then at one point they, for a very, very, very short window, they'd actually switched over to die cast right before they just went full plastic. But I still have some of the older plastic ones that you were getting, like they started really pumping out in like the beginning of the 60s. Well, I think it was towards the end of the 50s into the 60s and 70s. I still have a few of those older style ones. And those things were like a really hardcore heavy plastic. And they used to make the ones that were the little short, like, 2 or 3 inch tall ones. And then they used to make ones that were like 5 or 6 inches tall.
Yeah. Like
lead paint. Hours of fun. And there's nothing wrong with a little lead poisoning. You build up a tolerance to it. Lead soldier or a Lego brick? Yeah, a lead soldier, definitely, especially with a lot of them because they had those pointed tips on the end of their rifles with the bayonets. And God forbid if you had cowboy and Indians ones and they were lead. with the arrows. Oh no.
And the Knights of the Realm with their swords.
Yeah. Well, we didn't see quite as many of the knights. We've seen a lot more of like the soldiers, whether it was like Revolutionary War, whether it was like World War II era. We seen more of that stuff because I remember we had a few of them with the British doughboys that were made out of. I think those ones were die cast. We have a few of the doughboys.
Yeah. What doughboys?
Well, that's what they would call some of the British soldiers World War II because of the dough helmet.
Right, yeah.
They called the dough helmet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Playing Master of Puppets on guitar. Nice. But I want to get back into what we're doing. We're 46 minutes in, and I've only gotten to one of my topics. So thanks for bringing that, Jens. It's always fun talking about those old toy soldiers and shit. I'm sure a lot of us, when we were younger, had some of them. I mean, hell, they even still make them to a lesser degree.
Yeah.
Like usually you find them like dollar stores or something like that, or maybe even like a Walmart.
Yeah. The like plastic became sort of like cheap and they're just plastic molds, aren't they? And so they did come down in price.
Yeah, it is what it is. But I want to get into the next topic. So we're going to delve into something. Once again, we're going into the 90s with this one. So I found a whole bunch of these things, and I know I have more, but I just grabbed what I could at the time because I wasn't about to make like each segment over 3+ minutes because, well, the weather here in Florida gets kind of nuts in the summer. So we're in our rainy season. So I could get what I got at the top of the show 20 minutes in where my power goes out and then the internet doesn't want to come back up. The computer's telling me no. And I'm saying, yes, you son of a bitch. And I start Han Soloing or Fonzarelliing that damn thing until it came back up and it worked. But we got one right here. How many of you guys remember stuff like this? Did somebody say old school? You're damn right it's old school. Let the old times roll. So from 1990, we got a plushie. We've got Homer Simpson. We got Marge, which I'm not sure if she's going to be able to stand. Probably not. There she goes, down on her big fat head. We got Bart. She's probably not going to stand either. We got Lisa. And we got Maggie actually still sealed in a bag. Some of the many toys that they were putting out for The Simpsons at the time, big giant plushy figures with big giant plastic heads. And these ones were actually like a softer, these were more like a hard rubber instead of the plastic. But a lot of people were collecting these things. You guys remember these? Gonna keep rolling with The Simpsons as we got The Simpsons and we got Moe's Tavern with the Duff Man. Still sealed in e-box as it came right out of the store. My mother loved this stuff and she loved The Simpsons, especially the bar and Duff. She loved Mo too. I believe she had a big giant figure of him somewhere. I'm pretty sure I brought it back. You guys remember these? One last one for the Simpsons haul. We also have from 2002, we got Krusty the Clown as a keychain. We have Apu in a Halloween outfit for his store. Thank you, come again from Quickie Mart. We also got these two little TV things. It Kang from outer space. And a Kong Homer eating the burger from a building.
Nice.
Yeah.
Look, I did have a bunch more of those somewhere, and I just can't remember which crate they were in. And no, Marge wasn't race change. Actually, what happened to that one is wherever my father had that one stored, it was actually too close to the sun. So yeah, you got the discoloration on the rubber. So I don't get it. Like all the rest of them were stored neatly and they were covered away from sunlight and they were fine, but that one wasn't. I could probably clean it up. I'm going to need peroxide and everything like that, but I got to be careful because the peroxide can take all the paint off the damn figures. So you can clean them. You can get yellowing out, but you could pay the price for taking the original paint jobs off of them. No, what were we going to say, Jens?
Yeah, some paint remover can melt plastic. So
no, that's why you don't use paint remover. Yeah, what you do is you use peroxide. You use like a hydrogen peroxide. So most of us know a lot of those old figures, whether it was the rubber or the plastic, they actually had a compound in there called bromide, which was flame retardant that they put in a lot of plastics back then. Unfortunately, when bromine heats up because of the sun and stuff like that, and even if you just leave it in a really hot environment unprotected, the bromine activates with the plastic and it actually yellows or browns the plastic up.
Yeah.
And played by Lizzo in the live action movie. I remember seeing a Bartman figure at a Goodwill store. Nice. Yeah, like my mother was collecting a whole bunch of those damn things, and like I found a few of them here and there, and I just packed them away like everything else. But they're fun to look at from all those years past. And those big giant stuffed figures, believe it or not, you know where they were available? They weren't in a regular store. Believe it or not, they were a Burger King exclusive. Because the sealed Maggie still has Burger King on the packaging.
I was going to ask if those came from McDonald's because it looks like something that would be put in a Happy Meal.
Yeah, they're pretty big though for a Happy Meal. I mean,
that is true, but it looked to me like it came from a burger place.
Wow, bromide was putting tea in the second war to lower their expectations. Windsor and Newton brush cleaner is good for removing paint completely, but don't leave resin on some plastics in it for a bit. Warps or destroys them. Yeah. Like I found that one of the best solutions, use peroxide to take the yellowing out. There's something else. It's actually a beauty hair care product that you can get in like a salon or something like that. It's like a peroxide gel, and you can apply it directly to the areas that you want without getting over the paint. I haven't gone out and bought it yet because I don't know of any beauty salon stores in our area. But the next time I get one of those transformers where I don't want to ruin the paint or the stickers that are on them, I'm going to try that. It supposedly works just as good as putting the figure pieces in a container with peroxide. So, I mean, it's great. Like I took what was it? It was one of the Transformers. They had little mini spies, and one of the mini spies was pure white. That's what the color was. So I removed all the bits and pieces off there that I could that may have been colored, and black like with the tires and stuff like that didn't need to be de-yellowed. And I put all the parts in the solution with the peroxide, put it out in the sun in a sealed container, brought it in later that night. All the yellowing was gone. Thing was almost freaking like pure bone white again.
Nice.
Yeah, I picked up that trick a while ago. I know there's a few channels that talk about. I think it was Retro Blasting might have talked about a way to do that at some point, and a few others. I don't know. I forget who I picked. I picked it up from an old toy guy who was doing toy repairs in a shop, and that's how he said to do it. So it works. It works, but it could be a pain in the ass if you don't get the solution right and cover it properly when you put it in the sun, or if you have an overcast day, it doesn't seem to work as good. So, but it does work when you can get it in there. What was that? everyone in The Simpsons was yellow because of nuclear power plant. Yeah, right.
Is he making that up?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's funny to think that that's why they're all yellow, or maybe they're all Asian. Oh, did I say that out loud?
No, because the Asians are like pale.
Yeah, but have you ever heard them referred to as yellow?
Yeah, but I'm just saying in The Simpsons, like Caucasians are yellow and
Yeah.
the Asians are like pale, like a pale.
Oh,
like,
yeah, you're right. You're right about that. That's odd.
Yeah, 'cause I think. But the black people are black in it.
Yeah.
Or brown, or depending on like.
Oh, even Apu was like a dark brown.
Yeah.
Which he got removed from The Simpsons too.
R.I.P. Apu.
Yeah.
That's why I seen that and I was like, oh, I gotta have this on the show. There's no way I can skip this one. And it was still sealed too. Like I can't even tell you how many times I found a lot of these toys like that just sealed in the bags. Like my dad must have picked them up from the fast food restaurants, and he would just squirrel them away. God was so odd with that stuff. But you know what? I wound up with a whole bunch of treasures to bring home at the end that he had picked up. Shit that I didn't even realize he picked up. Some shit I'm still trying to figure out where the hell he picked it up from. And one figure in particular was from Burger King. I couldn't figure out who it was. It was a guy in a long brown trench coat with like a cowboyish looking hat on, but with like a futuristic vest and everything. And it was really odd looking. I'm asking around, and I think it was Angela Straven who told me, oh, that was like from a set from Burger King. It was supposed to be the Backstreet Boys and some like get-ups and stuff.
Oh,
like that.
yeah, I remember. You sent me the picture, and I looked it up. I remember that.
Oh, was it you that looked it up?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was Straven for some reason.
Yeah,
See,
I
I never thought you when I'm thinking Backstreet Boys looking that up.
No, but I remember I was like, "What the hell is this?" And you were like, "You sent me. You were sending me the messages back and forth. You're like, you found this. I saw the guy in the knight costume. I was like, what the hell is this? I looked it up, and it was a Backstreet Boys set from Burger King. And like the set together, it was worth like 80 or 90 something bucks. When I looked up on eBay.
Wow.
Yeah, because like it's one of them things where the more useless and like crap a toy is, that gets chucked out, and so collectors will pay a top price because it's okay. But
no, Soul Assassin, he had that figure. And Soul Assassin also asked favorite Simpsons episode. I would say it was one of the Halloween specials, but I forget exactly which one it was because it's been so long since I've seen all those things. But it was a Halloween special that was my favorite. Anybody else?
I don't think I'd be able to pinpoint a single episode. The baseball one was really good. The one where Mr. Burns gets all the professional baseball players to be on his softball team.
Yeah.
The one where Homer joins the NRA. That was a good one.
Yeah, Tommy, I'm sharing the screen.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah. So the one in the back is the one I found at the house.
Oh, the
actually,
cowboy?
you know what?
I thought it was the knight. I thought you had the knight.
No, this red one looks familiar too. I would almost bank that my father picked that up from somewhere too. God, it's just so creepy. I'll go to Burger King to get me some Backstreet Boys. More like the Backdoor Boys. Oh God, who would collect that?
Well, the Backstreet Boys were really popular at one point.
Yeah, we know.
Oh, we were joined by Steve. What's going on, Steve?
Hey, Steve.
What's up, Steve?
Yeah, it must have been late in the career because they look like grown men by now. They got facial hair.
That one at the end. That one looks like freaking Tony Stark.
Yeah, he does.
That's why I didn't think it was a part of that set, because it looked like a weird Iron Man or something. A couple people were saying the Mr. Plow episode.
Oh yeah, that one was good.
Oh yeah.
We also got some justice for Apu in the chat by removing Apu there being racist. Apu did nothing wrong.
Apu was also one of the more. He was also one of the non-stupid characters on the show. So I don't understand what the bitching about Apu was, because he wasn't as much of a jackass as like Wiggum or Homer or Barney.
Yeah, but the had a problem with the dude that voiced him.
Yeah, I know. Hank Azaria. Yes, Hank Azaria is white. Yes.
Yeah, and I think they said it was too much of a stereotype.
Yeah.
But then the argument, as you said, is like they're all stereotypes in The Simpsons. So
yeah, no Scottish people were complaining about groundskeeper Willie.
Yeah.
I mean, Scrooge McDuck is a stereotype as well, isn't he? Greedy Scotsman.
Yeah. Although I think with Scrooge McDuck though, the case was too convincing that the Scottish people was like, okay, that's
the modern day argument about Scrooge McDuck would be that the person voicing the character isn't a duck.
Yeah.
Or what if he's not rich?
It has to be a rich duck.
Well, you know what? They should have Fauci voice him because he's a quack.
Yeah, I always thought.
We got to get those things off the screen. I can't look at those backdoor boys any longer. It's making me feel queasy.
I was saying, Scrooge McDuck, the thing I always thought was a bit corny is how he dives into a pile of coins. Now, physically, you're going to smash your teeth in because it's not going to part like water.
They did that joke on Family Guy.
Yeah.
They should have been dead, brained all over the coins.
Yeah.
Time Prophet says, actually, I had a few Scottish friends, and I knew people who used to scrap copper coins and sell them for the copper. 2 pence coins. Yeah, I know. There's people that still do that now. Like, if they take an American penny, technically, if you hold on to the old copper ones, they're worth double. So, I mean, if you got a lot of them, it's worth maybe holding on to them and turning them in for that. But then you still got to find somebody that's willing to take them for the copper content, which sometimes can be a pain in the ass. But Steve, just in time. I'm going to lead into our first break. So this is a new break that I created for today's show for a special, and eventually, when we have more going old schools, I am going to delve into it some more. But here we go with our first break of the night. I hope you guys enjoy this one. This is old school stuff right here. Everybody, what's going on? Brand new segment right here for Going Old School. We've got Old School Media Break. So we're going to start off with these right here. Look at that, the Monster Series, Superheroes, Go Ape. What are we talking about? We are talking about the book and record sets. So, of course, we got Planet of the Apes right here in the back. You got a 45 record to go along with the story in the book. And this was almost like a full comic in here. This was really awesome to have back in the day. So we got Escape from the Planet of the Apes. We got Dracula, Terror of Snow. And we got the Monster of Frankenstein, as well as Superman. Somewhere else in the mess, I know I have a Spider-Man and a few other ones. Guys, these things were a lot of fun. Do you remember these? I mean, look at that price. $1.49 for these things back in the day. Do you remember these ones? Let us know what you think about this.
That's cool.
I think I had the He-Man record. I think I had the He-Man one that came with the little storybook.
I had some of those He-Man cassette tapes with a storybook thing.
Yeah, it was basically the same premise. Yeah.
Yeah, I never had the record one, but they used to do with tapes. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I besides Slasher and myself, we're the only ones that are old enough to have the record ones.
No. I think
I'm old enough. I just didn't have them.
yeah, and I think it was.
Well, then now I feel crusty and dusty. Thanks a lot, fellas.
I think in the UK we never had anything in like with records, or what I can remember with comics anyway. But when it finally did come out like that, there was more like audio books with tapes.
Well, the UK though is kind of like Oliver Twist. Nobody has anything. Yeah, so speaking of stereotypes.
Yeah, well, back in the 70s, there was a Labour government in, so everyone was poor as fuck.
How's that different from now?
I recently read a book written by a guy who grew up in the 70s in Coventry, England. And it was about his early teens as a D&D enthusiast. It's hilarious. He did not hold back on the cringy shit they did. It's called The Elfish Gene. I highly recommend it to everyone. It was awesome. He was on a date with a good-looking lady, and he was just talking about orcs. Till she left.
Look at that! We got a few people here. Time profit real quick. If the economy gets worse, they'll be breaking into Tommy's house to steal his lead soldiers. They'll never make it out alive.
Yeah. Tommy's tooled up. It's not only his soldiers that have got like rifles and.
I actually can't break into Tommy's home because I wouldn't get out of there because there would be too much to carry.
You would collapse under the sheer weight of everything.
Yeah,
Luffy is God. I had records and cassette tapes with read-along books. Star Wars, He-Man, Tintin. Nice. Adam Shawhan, what up? He says same.
It's good,
nice. God, I don't feel so old now. Slasher, we're in good company.
Tintin would actually not fly today because they had, I think Tintin helped transport slaves in one of the comics.
Oh, there you go, Stick. You said he lives 40 miles from Coventry.
Oh, groovy.
Yeah, growing up in the 70s. Yeah, there was a lot of cool stuff out in the 70s. I think a lot of people really missed that era, and they kind of write it off as not really much to talk about. But there was all kinds of things that were coming out in the 70s. Like, if you look at the basis for all the Transformer lines, they started in the late 70s. And most people forget that. They all started in the late 70s. The Shogun Warriors with the robot figures they were making. There were so many cool things that were coming out in the 70s that led to a boom in the 80s with a lot of these different franchises and figures. But a lot of that started right in the 70s. I mean, it's amazing that era is overlooked so much. Iron Maiden, 1979.
Yeah.
Dire Straits, I think, was 70s as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of those bands took years and years and years before they could get to a successful level.
I guess AC/DC started in the 70s.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought it was late 60s.
I mean, yeah, I was going to say it might be even being 60s because
they started off with Bon Scott.
Yeah.
And they're like thinking, we're like doing shows and that loads because they had Angus when he was a kid, wasn't he? And so there was playing at least about 4 or 5 years, I think, before they got the album.
ACDC and Forum were 73. Time Prophet says. I trust them on that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not creative. The guinea pig board will nibble their toes and their feet. They would regret the day they tried to steal from the guinea pig collective. And Soul Assassin says, breaking in Tommy's place, facing an army of guinea pigs. Small chance of survival. Certainly loss of toes and fingers. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Especially if I release the stripe, because even the dog bitches out and runs from stripe.
Yeah.
Evil pig. So I'm going to move. Does anybody else have any more topics they want to discuss before I move on to the next clip that I have prepared for the show?
Go for it.
Okay. All right. So the next one is actually another one that actually there's a couple things here. One is actually from a food restaurant and one is not. And I know just about everybody is going to know the basis from this cartoon that these toys were based on. Here we go. Here we go, guys. Another going old school topic. Talking about an old cartoon and some of the toys that they had at. And this one is Warner Brothers. This one is 1998. This is Pinky and the Brain. One is a genius, the other's insane. Now, this one is actually by Tic Tac Toys out of China. And basically, all this one was supposed to be a clothespin that they were going up on. And they scaled to the top. Pretty interesting piece. And we also have this piece right here. We have this little globe where it says Pinky and the Brain on it. And if you kind of spin it around, there is a little button right back here. And if you manage to get the button, it pops open. And there goes Brain, ready to take over the world. Interesting little piece from that cartoon of the area. I know we have a few more, but these are the two that I found. I think this one might have been done for Burger King, but it's actually not marked, which is surprising. Usually every Burger King toy is. Anyway, guys, you remember this? Do you remember this cartoon? Good old school stuff right here.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't know what it was.
Really? You did not know Pinky and the Brain?
Pinky and the Brain? You don't
Never
know?
heard of them.
Really?
Yeah, probably
Animaniacs?
Gee, Stig, you mean you've never had a Pinky in the Brain?
Yeah, no.
Animaniacs?
No.
Yeah, good. Well, they did do like because it was a part of sort of Animaniacs, wasn't it? But I think they did do.
Yeah, they had their own show. They got their own
show. Because I used to love it, me, and that because it was real daft and some of the stuff. Because I watched it recently when I was like a few years ago, and it's quite sort of like adult sort of like jokes that I didn't get when I was a kid. Because it was just I just found like. The fact that Brain would always get his plans like messed up. It always because that was the basis of the show that Brain would take over the world, and whatever plan he was doing, it'd be working real well until the last part, and then someone would mess up. Usually, it's Pinky that would mess it up, and then it'd just go back to like, "Gee, Brain, what we're doing tomorrow." Same thing we do all the time, Pinky. Take over the world. There you go, Pinky and the Brain.
Brain.
I thought the cartoon was funny. I know, some people, it was their cup of tea, or it wasn't. Time Prophet says he didn't really care for it much. He said he remembers, but he wasn't a fan.
Oh.
I thought it was funny for what it was. Soul Assassin says his mom used to work at a toy company. She brought him and his siblings stuff to Animaniacs and Pinky and the Brain toys once. Nice.
Yeah.
Danger Mouse. Yes, I remember Danger Mouse as well. I remember
Danger Mouse are.
But Danger Mouse was a like superhero where Pinky and the Brain were like super villains. even though Pinky didn't even want to do it, but because it's one of them where there was supposed to be lab mice that are like sort of friends because they're like in the same cage and that. And so Pinky used to just help Brain because it was his friend.
Does anyone remember that the Mighty Mouse cartoon that they had? It was kind of done like it was like late 80s, and it was kind of done like Ren and Stimpy style. The humor was very much like Ren and Stimpy too.
Well, I remember watching when I was younger. They had that out in the 70s, like 70s.
No, but this was like the animation style was different. It was like made for like 80. It was like 88, 89.
Yeah, I don't remember the updated one.
It was pretty similar the way it was drawn to Ren and Stimpy.
I remember that.
I have a pretty retro one that I think Jens will remember because I think it was an English show. Super Ted.
Oh,
that
yeah.
That one was fun.
Super Ted.
Yeah, it's a teddy bear that comes alive and has superpowers.
And Tex Ranger. It was a Tex Ranger that like was his enemy.
Yeah, was it Texas Pete?
Yeah. It was.
Yeah, and he had like a fat guy with him and a skeleton.
Yeah.
And Super Ted had like an alien guy with him that had a jetpack.
Oh yeah. A bit
real quick. I want to get to Luffy as God's comment because I remember a lot of these. So 77 to 83 was a boom in good anime and toys. Starsinger, Lupin, Cobra, the Space Pirate, Fist of the North Star, and Battleship Yamato, also called Star Blazers here in the States. Good stuff, man. Heathcliff, Heathcliff was awesome. And the crew.
Heathcliff was way better. Wait a minute. Heathcliff was way better than Garfield.
Yeah.
I think.
Yes.
Whoa.
Heathcliff, no one should
terrify the neighborhood. The song was awesome.
Heathcliff just won't be undone.
Playing pranks on
everyone.
Yeah, Heathcliff was cocked by his pussy.
What?
No, that was the other cartoon they had.
You're thinking of Riff Raff and Cleo.
The Junkyard Cats.
Riff Raff, Cleo, Hector, Mongo,
Wordsworth,
yeah.
Well, yeah, not better than Garfield. Garfield's the best.
No. It's going to Heathcliff.
Heathcliff was a Garfield wannabe with a hat and a cane. For some reason.
You know what? I actually have something prepared for that comment, Jens.
Are you high?
Yeah, but not high enough that I'd think that Heathcliff was better than Garfield.
Garfield came after Heathcliff.
Top Cat or something was it Top Cat?
Yeah, Top Cat. Yeah, he had that black what did they call that hat?
A top hat.
No, it wasn't really a top hat because it was low. Because the top hat is like usually the long, tall ones.
Like a bowler hat?
No.
Yes, kind of like a bowler hat.
A derby?
Well, is the derby the round one or is the derby the flat one?
I think the derby's the round one. I think.
Yeah, I think the derby is the round one, and the bowling hat is the flat-topped one.
The Get Along Gang, that was another one. That was the early 80s.
Nerds! He named his cat Cleo because of Heathcliff. There you go. Simon's cat is the best.
Well, Heathcliff had a bed, and I think it was Cleo. I know he had a bed because because
Yes, right there. Bone says Heathcliff was Sonia, and I remember Riff Raff and Cleo, because Cleo was all trying to look all glamorous and everything.
They totally missed the cat pun name there. She should have been called Cleocatra.
Yeah. Well, there we go. Heathcliff, he had himself a missus, and Garfield went around like shagging.
Yeah, Garfield was just a lazy piece of shit.
Yeah.
But he's a ginger Tom, so he's getting laid. Because apparently, I reckon,
you know, more people remember Garfield because of one reason. It was promoted a lot heavier, and there was a lot more merchandise for it. Yeah. Heathcliff didn't have that kind of merchandising generation behind it. The company who owned Garfield really, really pushed it.
Oh yeah, we had Garfield stuff all over the place, even here.
Yeah, because Garfield was more adult than because Garfield was quite adult-ish. Right.
Could be. My memory of it is very, spotty.
Oh yeah. Well, thingy. What's Garfield's owner called? Oh,
John.
John. Yeah. John was a right soy cunt.
Yeah, big time.
Garfield would just like
walk all over him.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? The only thing I really liked about Garfield, and it wasn't so much Garfield, it was Odie.
Yeah.
Well, everybody likes Odie.
In the films, but I laugh more at Odie because, like, in the Bill Murray films, like 1 and 2, I've seen them both because number 2 gets set in like London and that. But they just get this dog. Obviously, it's a trained dog, but it probably doesn't even know what's going on because it's just trained to do certain tricks and certain sort of like poses and that. But they do it real good. Like if it is sort of like real, they like edit it like they're doing films, so it makes it look like he's real intelligent. Because in the cartoon, Odie's real stupid, but in the films, he acts a bit stupid, but he's the intelligent one, sort of thing.
No, he tend to always get over on Garfield, even in the comic strips. Fun fact, Bill Murray hated the cartoon version of him because the voice actor sounded like Garfield. Years later, he ended up voicing Garfield in the same movies.
It's also funny. It's also funny because the same guy who voiced Garfield voiced Venkman in the real Ghostbusters cartoon.
I'm not creative. So anyone remember Bonkers? I don't recall that one.
I remember a candy called Bonkers.
I remember that crap fucking song where bonkers. Back to a like techno beat.
Well, the second one that I'm not creative, he mentions, I definitely remember that. I remember Darkwing Duck.
I didn't like Darkwing Duck. I when it came to those Disney after-school cartoons, I loved DuckTales and Rescue Rangers. And then when it got to Tailspin and Darkwing Duck, I just kind of... Yeah.
Oh, come on. What about the best duck of all of them? Count Duckula. That should be right up Green's ballpark right there. You're going to have to do a real horror about Count Duckula.
Is that what you want to do for my channel?
Yeah, bonkers.
That looks familiar. That does look familiar.
Right. Now I know. Okay.
Yeah, not to me, man.
I guess I never paid attention to the name. I just remember the.
Yeah, I don't think
cat. Is that supposed to be a cat?
Yeah, well, like I would say, I've never. That's why I sort of like brought it up because I was thinking, I don't think I've ever. And like, if I have seen it, I saw it once, maybe that it was so long ago. I can't remember I've seen it.
Or Gargoyles was good too. Gargoyles was awesome.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I hear you, Soul Assassin. I love Kong Fooey. Scatman did him. He did Jazz. He did so many different characters, man. That guy was awesome. DJ Ronnie G says Tailspin was his shit. And what's up, Curtis? What up? Still here? Yes, we are. Soul Assassin mentions Gargoyles. Yeah, you and Vinny both, man, love Gargoyles. My brother used to watch Gargoyles. I wasn't a huge fan of it. I thought it was okay. It's just at that time I was working. I didn't have as much time to actually watch cartoons and shit. So, and Time Prophet says Count Duckula was David Jason, who also played Inspector Frost and Danger Mouse.
I remember I would come home after school and my dad would be watching Gargoyles. My dad got me into that.
Oh, gonna be a Chris Pratt Garfield animated feature movie. Well, there's Odie. Well, you see it, he's always looking happy and all, most of the time. And so it just cracks me up, that film. Well, how they got the dog to like look like if he's like really dopey but intelligent at the same time. Great.
What's up, Keely?
What's up, Keely? Hey, Tommy. Sorry. Go ahead, Jens.
Someone sent Jens a lot of Garfield stuff. It's making you happy.
I don't think I recall Jens being this happy before.
I know.
Oh, well, the film, like, I do have a tendency to like films like that G-Force with the hamsters and Dogs versus Cat. Any sort of film where they get animals to act like the human. It always makes me apart from monkeys, because monkeys are too much like humans that it's like, eh.
Yeah, that's true.
But anything like a cat or a
monkeys don't count. You know?
Yeah,
I hate monkeys.
Yeah, they're too human. It's like it's not funny them acting human, but with a cat or a dog or anything and that doesn't look all like you, doesn't act all like human. But then again, I just find it hilarious.
You've been corrected by Time Prophet.
What?
G-Force was guinea pigs.
I said guinea pigs.
You said hamsters.
Right, well, I meant guinea pigs because sorry, that's why it's called G-Force.
You would have said that in my house, that would have been all your toes. You wouldn't have been very masculine falling over because you had no toes.
Pretty much the same animal.
Oh no, don't say that to them. Don't say that.
Well, I'm gonna review it, and so if I did say hamsters, then I won't do a video of rebuffing it. But if I did say guinea pigs, I'll have to do a video rebuffing it.
You said hamsters.
All right.
Hey Tommy, when you get a chance, I want to show something else.
Oh yeah, sure.
Because I'm sure you've got at least quite a few of these in one of those bins.
Yeah, Count Duckula was hilarious.
Yeah, because it took the piss out of vegetarians.
All right, Slasher. Did you have something else, Jens, before I hand it over to Slasher?
Yeah, I was going to say, Count Duckula, the gimmick behind Count Duckula was, instead of giving him blood to create him, they gave him tomato sauce or tomato ketchup. And so that's why he became a vegetarian.
Well, wasn't there like a mix-up in the beginning, like they dropped the blood and the only thing they had left was ketchup?
No, I think the no, it's blood, but they get the tomato ketchup thinking it's blood, and then it's not going to pour it in. I think, and that's when they're looking. It's like, oh no, wrong jar.
All right, we're going to hand it over to Slasher. He's got something. Slasher, the floor is yours.
All right. I'm sure somewhere in one of these bins in your house, Tommy, I'm sure you got
Oh, Swamp Thing.
a couple of these, right?
Yep.
I like this one because you got the extendo hand. Snaps back up.
Nice.
You remember when Kenner started trying to really, really market Swamp Thing in the early 90s, Tommy? Like they had a cartoon and shit.
Yep. I also remember they did like some really weird villain toys to go along with it too. They were just strange.
Yeah. Hang on one second.
I also remember they did a glow in the dark Swamp Thing as well.
Yep.
I want to say that we still have that one in the back.
Here's one of the villains. One of the villains, and they came with this funky ass thing you put on their head.
That's awesome.
The arm came off on this, but it's also old. It's also really, really.
Did you chew it off when you were a kid?
No, it's just from like sitting there in the heat, and the friggin' rubber just the rubber was stuck to whatever surface I had this sitting on. Picked it up and the arm came off.
Oh.
But this Swamp Thing is awesome. Kind of did a dope job with these Swamp Thing figures. They really were, like, yeah. What were you saying?
They were super simple. They were super simple to make, but they looked pretty decent for back then.
It did. I think this was also like I think this Swamp Thing, he also might have been later on, like was supposed to be in the Superpowers line, because he goes good with the superpower figures. No, he's on scale with them. But yeah, that's Swamp Thing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, brought it up, sort of thing, so you can see like they were.
Yeah, there goes the glow in the dark ones.
Yeah, that's right. They had the playset too.
Yeah. I never saw these sort of thing because I remember the film and that, and my nana, she used to like Swamp Thing. She used to buy the Swamp Thing because it was a bit of a love story, and that wasn't it, Swamp Thing.
Yeah, there was also a TV show. They had a really low budget TV show on like the USA Network or something.
Yeah. Because I saw because I think they did like a TV film and sort of.
Yeah, they did two Swamp Thing movies.
Yeah.
They were very cheesy.
I thought
they were still kind of fun for what they were, though.
Yeah.
I don't remember the second one too much because I saw it so long ago. But I've seen the first one quite a few times. I like.
Yeah,
they had one. They did have one and two. Both of them were on Tubi at one point.
Plus, Adrian Barbeau had big boobies. So. That didn't hurt.
Yeah, because he has to give her some kind of like drug flower. So
she probably had swamp ass in that one.
Yeah. Oh, she would have done after Swamp Thing had finished with her.
Yeah, I hear you, Keely.
Yeah,
same
here,
DC toys.
He
And what's going
used
on,
this-
Doc?
Use this swamp
There you
thing on her.
No problem. I'm not creative. More than likely, we're still going to be here by the time you get done. The hell are you talking about? Time Prophet is a Ken Swamp Thing like a Ken Doll and Barbie. Yeah,
You know, it's kind of funny that they did a transgender Barbie, right? So Barbie got a dick before Ken did.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the one warning. I'm not talking about new stuff.
Here's the film.
I actually watched that one for the first time a few years ago. I'd never watched it.
It's kind of funny too because you could see like when you're watching the movie, you could see like the rubber creases in his suit.
Yeah. They're like, but I'll tell you something though.
It still looked good though. I'll say it looked good. I'm not saying it looked like shit. You could just tell.
No, it did. It looked like the suit that Hannibal Smith has in the beginning of the 80s.
Yeah, kind of.
But the beginning bit was good when he's like because they did the storyline. I don't know because I'm not like a super Swamp Thing fan, but they did it sort of like quite good to the comic book because he like gets thrown into a swamp after getting chemical burns all over him and that.
See, that scene right there reminds me of Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that, like most of these movies, they do like the tropes, you know what I mean? Like they all get some kind of inspiration from an earlier film.
Yeah.
Yeah, the early Swamp Thing comics were horror comics. They were supposed to be horror comics. Like sort of like light horror.
Yeah. Look at this picture, right? I'm not claiming the artist spent a lot of time
on
in this
movies?
area, but if you look, this is nearly picture perfect
compared
to the rest of it.
Yeah, his face is all deformed, but her boobs are perfect.
Yeah, just like more of that, please.
No, I'm not. I'm just like noticing because it spoiled the picture there. Like he should have spent as much time on everything.
What you talking about, Jens? I think that part of the picture looks just fine.
Yeah, well,
are you questioning the artist's integrity, Jens?
Yeah, I'm saying he spent a lot of time on this area where
he did.
Yeah, where I can just fucking Google a porn site and see this area loads of times.
Why do you keep
this
circling?
area,
Okay,
I can't Google any porn sites to see.
Jens,
well, you probably can, but
that guy got paid a good amount to paint those boobies. Okay.
What area, Jens? What area?
I bet you they have a swamp monster porn now.
Yeah, you can tell exactly where it is concentrated because like it's like a shoulder there where a strap goes like that. He's not bothered about, and this bit of his shoulder he don't give a fuck about. But this bit,
or how her head is kind of floated on top of her neck.
Rob Shlomo, who used to be on Midnight's Edge, he told us about quicksand porn because he had found that, and which is weird because it's like women sinking in quicksand, but it's like stripping in reverse because you see less and less of them.
Yeah, I guess if you do reverse it though, it
looks like they've been spat out of the quicksand.
Yeah,
you know what, Jens? I think you're completely wrong about that one area. That wasn't just as all photo. Look at the lower end too. He spent time there until you get right about to where the thigh, where you should technically see part of her other leg around coming around him, but you don't see anything. You see her ass right to the end of the hip, and then that's where he lost focus. Like, who cares about where the rest of the legs don't matter?
Yeah,
we just need this part.
Yeah,
that's where he needed his right hand for something else. He literally added another stroke.
Do you suppose that was it? Do you suppose that the face he put on Swamp Thing was the face he was making while he was taking care of the center of the picture?
That's his sex face.
And his arm would have been a bit lower down here, so direction.
I don't know, not unless he's got it inserted, because it almost kind of looks that way with the lack of legs.
That's why her head is kind of like off her neck a little.
Maybe she's holding her back because he's too far in.
That would explain her kind of stern expression. She's kind of not really approving, and her hand is reaching behind to try and pull something away, right?
Start sticking your swampy thumb in my ass.
Yeah.
Oh, it could be to support her back from fucking getting like alien sort of like back base there going.
I'm telling you right now, that's not just a thumb. That's at least wrist deep.
Yeah, it's like come on, pull it out. I'm getting swamp ass from your thumb.
I mean, she's basically a puppet.
Yeah.
Underrated destroyer, what's going on? Greetings and welcome.
She's like this glove. Actually, you can see the arm go up there, though.
It does kind of look like there's a little bit of spreading. I mean, the way it's flared out.
Yeah. he's yeah.
But, I just noticed the way her hand is up. I'm like, get up, buddy.
Soul Assassin says a little TNA does the heart good.
She's like, flex your arm, daddy.
Don't go too crazy in front of the cameraman, though. Or the photographer.
Oh man. All right, we're gonna move on. All right, so I got another one I prepared. This one is going to take it in a slightly different direction. Take it to a different franchise. And these toys the two that I'm going to be showing off. The reason I showed them off together is going to be pretty damn apparent because of the similarities between what the franchise owners had wound up doing as far as gimmicks for these two figures. So here we go with these. Do you guys remember these? Did someone say old school? It doesn't get any more old school than He-Man. And it sure as hell don't get any more old school than that old toy line Masters of the Universe from the 1980s. Now, in the later half of the 1980s, they wound up coming out with rock guys. So they had Stone Dar, which we have here, and they also had Rock On. Really oddball designs, like really weird. It just seems like everybody was kind of getting into the transforming craze. And of course, also in 1986, we got this guy. We've got Stoneheart from the GoBots Rock Lords. These things were kind of interesting, but they were not going to save the GoBots franchise, just like these rock guys were not going to help the floundering He-Man at that point. Still, an interesting concept, which is no place to go because, if kids want to play with rocks, they're just going to go outside and pick them up and throw them around, not get a toy to throw. I don't quite understand what they were going for. The concept was kind of almost interesting while being absolutely retarded all at the same time. But anyway, guys, do you remember these? Do you remember Stone Dar and Rock On from the Masters of the Universe line? Or do you remember the Rock Lords from GoBots? Hope you have a good one, and thank you for being here for Going Old School.
GoBots, Battle of the Rock Lord.
I remember both. I had some Rock Lords and I had Rock On and Stone Dar as well.
I remember the He-Man rock guys were peg warmers in my local toy store. I remember that.
Yeah.
They were comets, I guess, because they came from space.
Yeah, in the cartoon, yeah.
I always thought, but I stopped collecting He-Man figures at that stage. But I always thought, they didn't look all that He-Man-y, as in they couldn't fight. They looked all right, stood up and that, but once you had to fight against He-Man and that, pretty useless because they didn't have much
It's not even like you could roll them like a boulder, like say like they had like a boulder attack. No, they were flat at the bottom, so they couldn't even roll.
I think they had guns though that you could
Did they have
attach to the.
guns? They probably
Maybe.
had like attachments. Like they had some sort of attachments, didn't they?
Yeah, I think so.
And I don't think they sold all that well. So, like, they should be worth a bit, shouldn't they? Because they'll be one of them. Well, I don't think that they sold that well because there was sort of like the end range, weren't they, of the He-Man, and so like.
These came out in around '86, and it's really funny because both the Rock Lords and the Rock Guys and He-Man and Master Universe came out in the exact same year. Now, I am not 100% sure which one came out first, but I'm thinking He-Man might have actually dropped their figures first before GoBots did, but GoBots was also waiting for their movie to be completed. Yeah. So I'm not sure which company actually got to the shelves Rock transforming figures first. But either way, it's an idea like on paper because at the time pet rocks were still kind of popular for some dumb reason. And I think they were trying to like look into that craze. Like, okay, well, what's popular at the time? Well, everybody likes pet rocks, which was a completely retarded idea as well. And they just figured that they were going to latch onto that and they were going to create figures in that same vein. And to me, it was just it was a huge miss. It really had nowhere to go. It didn't. Because what are you going to do? How are you going to build a line like that? I mean, who's going to really want that in the end? I mean, especially when you look at GoBots. Here you got robots that turn into vehicles and or of some sort. Instead, you're going to have one that just turns into a rock. and maybe different colored rocks, maybe different shaped rocks. Like they're still just rocks in the end. Yeah,
it's like having a transformer that transforms into a toaster. Like, not all that impressive. Anything you can see, like in normal day life, ain't all that impressive to a kid. Well, not if they're going to spend money and have it.
No, they're going to spend mom and dad's money.
Yeah, well, I think Ghostbusters did so good, and He-Man and all on G.I. Joes and stuff, because like kids couldn't see that, and when those were released, if you wanted to see that, you needed a video, and then like spending like £100, or £200 for the video, and so you'd have to rent it, and so kids couldn't rent that. It was before you could buy sort of. Well, it was sort of like around that time where you could start buying VHS films and that on video, but mainly it was renting. And so if you couldn't rent He-Man like with terrestrial TV, like unless you like recorded He-Man programs, the only way you could see He-Man was to get the figures. You couldn't see He-Man outside.
Yeah.
Well, there was one other thing I wanted to mention about the GoBots one, the one that I showed off Stoneheart, and I wish I had a still photo of him. Yeah, because there's something on there. I'm kind of wondering if Trina will notice it, where they actually took some of the inspiration for the design of the character.
Stoneheart, because it's
it'll be Stoneheart Rocklord.
Right, yeah, Rocklord.
Hunter Biden and Brucey's figures. I don't think they had a white one. I don't think he would have approved them. 3 or 4 of them. Nice. Could have a rock concert.
I think that's
rock form is not much more than meets the eye.
There should have been one called Rock Hard.
Well, he is blue, isn't he? Like Viagra.
Right.
Stiff-limbed.
Anything, Trina?
It's like not posable at all. Sorry.
No, this isn't ringing a bell to me.
Look at the hands. See how they're like claws?
Need a bigger picture.
It's a shame because I had pictures for it, but I didn't upload them. And it would take way too much time for me to try to upload them now when I'm on the stream because StreamYards takes so much of the resources away from my computer. But on the sides of his head, he has like it almost looks like gills.
I'll forget. Got a better picture.
Oh, so that's like Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yes.
Yeah, you can see.
Okay, yeah, it was.
You can kind of see the side with the gills and on his back. And his back, he's got a big fin. He's got a big fin on his back.
Cool. Okay, yeah, I can see it a little better now. That's awesome.
Imagine having a rock though with gills.
It's a water rock.
Killed Steve Irwin.
I mean, if you're asking me though, if you're talking about like who was actually better designed, I would say that the Rock Lords were definitely better designed than the He-Man versions were.
Oh yeah,
like those things were horrible.
Look, yeah, they didn't even look like action figures. They looked like wet cloths.
Well, and you probably noticed it when I filmed that thing. When I was trying to stand Stone Dar up, he kept wanting to fall forward.
Yeah,
because all the weight is in the head, in the chest, and it kept wanting to fall forward. And I was like, man, this thing stinks. And this guy, he stood up, and it's hilarious that he stood up on that spinning wheel because his joints are so loose on this thing that they literally flop the minute you pick it up. But if you get it in a nice static pose, it stands straight up because the weight is actually evenly distributed through the body of the figure.
Yeah. There's a view from behind.
Not a bad design for Rock with gills. Yeah, there you go. Like, yeah, it's got like that big fin.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, go down. Go down, Jens. Now go all the way over to the right. That one.
Yeah.
You'll be able to see it better.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even notice that one.
That's cool.
And he has like a trident, almost kind of like weapon, like a spear, like something, underwatery looking.
Yeah.
He is really cool.
I had that two-headed one. And 2 or 3 others.
Hey, you seen this though? Look at whoever like took the picture. They're cheating. They got like a
Oh yeah, they're using a figure stand.
Yeah. Like what? But they've got him sort of like in a bit of a walking pose that would probably fall over, but still.
Yeah, Solstice is from the front. The Rock Lord looks like the Sentinels from the X-Men. Kind of the blocky body design. What's up, Chaos Oi? I hope that you're doing well.
Hey.
I'm doing all right. Hanging in there. But yeah, they had some really bad figures. They had the one that was just a gold little rock called Nugget.
Oh,
I can't remember what, because in the movie they had Telly Savalas voice one of the Rock Lords. I can't remember what his character's name was, but I remember that Rock Lord looking really bad, like Magmar or something. I think his name was, and he just looked like a red rock.
There's little Nugget.
He's a little guy.
Yeah.
I kind of like him.
Yeah, he's got that Star-Lord sort of look about him, with the
Oh yeah, I see that. Yep.
Yeah.
Curtis is laughing Nugget because you're probably thinking the same thing I'm thinking, a butt nugget. Yes, Time Prophet, Kojak, Telly Savalas. Jedi Bill, what up? Hope you're doing well.
Yeah. Yeah, but, let's see what Nugget looks like compared to the rest. Yeah, well, there's that thing on that you've got on that. Yeah, so yeah, he is quite little, isn't he? There's one, or maybe even smaller, but I don't know what that one's called.
Yeah, I don't remember what the silver one was called.
Yeah.
But it was basically just a repaint of the Nugget figure. I think the only thing they might have changed something on the legs or something, but it was basically the same thing.
So was this a cartoon or was this just a toy line?
This was a toy line in a movie.
Oh,
so
okay.
yeah, right. Tonka was trying to find some way to make GoBots popular again because they had pretty much run their course. Transformers was pretty much wiping them off the toy shelf, so they were looking for some way to be able to compete with Hasbro and Takara again. So their big idea was Rock Lords, and they created a cartoon movie for it. And then, they were going to get this big promotion going for it, and it flopped amazingly bad. And they actually had quite a few decent voice actors for the cartoon movie, but it didn't help it. Because, I mean, you're trying to sell kids toy rocks that convert into little guys. Like, I'm sorry. It's just a failed idea. It really is. I don't know what they were thinking.
And this one here, right at the bottom left, looks more like a concrete slab than a rock.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really not a good idea.
It was a lazy idea. I'm telling you, somebody on their creative team had seen the pet rock craze at the time, and they thought, well, this would be great.
Hey,
no, it would not.
What was the Rock Lord's enemies then?
They were Rock Lords too. That guy Nugget, the gold one, he's one of the good guys.
So it's rock on rock violence?
Yes. Yes.
So Nugget is like Bumblebee.
Kind of.
Or
Scooter from the GoBots. Because they always the parallels,
Yeah, you know what it's like, what you're saying, Tommy, how it's stupid for them to have, inanimate freaking objects. It's like it's that scene from Big, after when he gets the job working in the toy department, and they want to have a big transforming Empire State Building.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Oh, it's a building." It's like, what the hell's a building?
There's nothing fun about this.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, you never heard of that one, huh? I've mentioned it in the past. Yeah, the movie, it was Yeah, the movie was I remember watching it. I thought it was like just,
Hey, well, it's powerful living rocks. All I'm gonna say.
Yeah, it's really like, it's like they wanted to get in on the transforming thing, and Transformers did dinosaurs, they did insects. So like, what's left? Rocks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they were. I mean, the funny thing is when the guys who were in partnership with Tonka to bring GoBots and then eventually Rock Lords, they had actually beaten Takara to the toy shelves. And for a long time, they were just holding the market with transforming toys with the GoBots. And over in Japan, still as a Machine Robo. Wow. But the minute Takara and Hasbro had finally caught up and they got done with all their packaging and recoloring and everything else, and Bob Budiansky writing all the bios, and they were putting out a comic, and they were working on the cartoon, because they actually they beat GoBots to the cartoon side of it, and GoBots had to play catch up to them, because GoBots had the toy shelves all to themselves, and they were like, oh yeah, we're winning this. Transformers comes in with a comic. They come in with a cartoon. They come in with normal advertising. GoBots getting their ass whooped. we need a cartoon. So they've had a cartoon thrown together to try to play catch up. By then, it was already too late. It was already too late, and they were losing out to Transformers. Hasbro and Takara came up with the perfect plan on how to freaking just take over the market on it. And by this point, GoBots was floundering. They were looking for any stupid way to try to come back. And they dipped into the insects as well. They made some insects. I forget what they called those guys, but they had like a scorpion and a few other like big claw-looking monsters. They had a few monster like things that did one that looked like a bat or something. So they tried to dip into that. Well, that didn't help them. I mean, they sold all right, but they still were not putting them in the spotlight to retake the lead from Transformers. So this was their last ditch effort, and it really felt like it. Like we're calling up the D team. A, B, and C are out. Trans metalheads. Get rock hard with Rock Lords. Rock was big in the 80s. No crystals. Oh, come on. These rocks are bad, but not as bad as you.
The enemies should have been drills and stuff like that, though.
The Scissor Lords.
Right? Bone has a winner, and maybe this could have saved the GoBot franchise. They missed out on Scissor Lords and Paper Lords. What's up, memes?
Hey, memes.
What a strange rabbit hole this topic wound up becoming.
Hey, Tommy. Just going to share that screen with the intersectors, I think they're called. But yeah, I think this is it though.
Oh, these were so that one you got listed right there at Chop Shop. That is actually from another company that Hasbro had licensed from, and they became the deluxe Insecticons, but those not the GoBot ones I'm mentioning. These were actually made by a different company called Takatuku Toys. Right. And they had made that. They made Roadbuster and Whirl, who became the deluxe Autobots, and there was something else that they did. And Hasbro licensed them off to become these other figures in their own franchise. And when it came to the cartoons and the comics, they were not allowed to use them because the license for Takatuku Toys wound up being bought out by Bandai, who are Machine Robo, and they were in partnership with Tonka for GoBots, so they weren't allowed to use any of those characters that were under Bandai as far as cartoons and comics. But yeah, the original Insecticons are kind of like this guy. This is a more modern take on Shrapnel, and I think later on they call him Scrapnel later on for some dumb reason. But the original 3 Insecticons that were black and purple like that, they were 100% Takara, and then recolored and everything under Hasbro for Transformers. But the GoBot ones, I forget exactly what they were called, but they were all done like these weird insect things. But it was after Transformers that already introduced all this stuff.
Well, let's see.
Damn right it is. Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
I wish I could remember what they're called. They were GoBots no, it wasn't Insectoids. I can't remember what they were called. It's been so long since I actually seen like the box art for them. To a degree, memes. To a degree, GoBot's the same thing. A lot of them, the early ones, had die-cast metal on them. Depending on which figure it is, would have been how much die-cast that they used in it. Because when they brought all these things over from Japan, from Takara, they were already making most of them with die-cast metal. And eventually, what Hasbro did, like most companies do in America, they were looking to cheapen it, so they wound up doing away with the die-cast and just 100% plastic. I think one of the rare exceptions from a Japanese toy company is that Takatuku Toys that I mentioned that did the Deluxe Insecticons and the Deluxe Autobots, they were almost 100% plastic, other than a few metal joint pieces. Insectabots, maybe? I don't know. I just cannot recall.
Insecticons?
No, the Insecticons were Transformers.
Oh.
Yeah, the GoBot ones, I cannot remember what they were called. They weren't around for very long. I mean, they did show up on the GoBot show and everything like that, but as far as like helping GoBots in the race against Transformers, not even a drop in the bucket.
Was it Insectoids?
No, I think Insectoids is actually a whole separate line with like figures and riders. They're called the Sectars.
Oh, Sector. The ones with they're like the mounts.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think the one evil side were called Insectoids or something, maybe, or something, for some dumb reason. Let me see. Maybe I can look it up real quick. GoBot. Yeah, I mean, it's so vague. Even looking it up, I can't find it. I just really do not remember what they were called. Here goes one of them right here. I want to say his name was something like Vamp or something like that. All right, where'd it go? Pincher.
You don't want to call Sphincter.
One was called like Vamp or something, and one was called Pincher, and one was like a scorpion-looking guy. They don't say what they were called. Like maybe Monster something. Like maybe Monster was in the title or something like that. I wish I could remember. I just don't. And that's an odd one. I don't remember it, but it is GoBots. And towards the end of the run, they did have a lot of forgettable shit, including the Rock Lords. Yeah, right. Kids were intelligent when they used lead on toys. It bring it back, man. Keeps people in check. Insecticons got held back for a minute because I typed Hobots instead of GoBots. Yeah, the Insecticons were from Transformers. Yeah, I cannot remember what the GoBot versions were, but is what it is.
They need to make the Hobots, though. RC could be the leader.
Nah, that's just horrible. All right, so I got I got a toy break here. So I'm going to break into this one and see who remembered this one. Now, this one is actually not technically a store-bought toy, but you could only find it usually in toy stores. Maybe once in a while you might have found these things in a supermarket if they had one of these bubblegum machines where you could pick these little figurines up. I guarantee as soon as Slasher sees these comes up on the screen when he sees me talking about it, he's going to know exactly who they are. How many of you guys remember this? Go Old School Toy Break. So we technically have 3 different lines of toys here, but they were all kinds of grouped together when you got them out of the bubblegum machine. That's why you see the little bubblegum pieces sitting there that came right out of the machine. So we have Mihos, we have Homies, and we have Rascals. Once again, these were all pretty much just grouped together, and just whatever you managed to get out of the bubblegum machine is what you wound up getting. So we have a few of these sitting right here out. Here they go. They brought more friends to come hang out with them. These things were really cool. You got them for maybe a quarter or 50 cents a piece, whatever the hell it was back in that time. But these things were highly collectible. I think at one point they even had a poster for these, kind of like the same thing that they wound up doing with the muscle figures. Very collectible, very fun to get, and a lot of really interesting looking characters. I know we have more of these somewhere, but once again, different locations and all the crates, but here goes what I could find offhand. Do you guys remember these ones? You remember the Mijos? Do you remember the Rascals, or do you remember them as homies? Guys, let us know what you think about this. Anybody remember those?
Yeah, I remember the homies. What was that one with the shark head?
That they were called Rascals.
Okay, I don't remember those ones.
And the other guy was called a Miho.
Oh, okay. I do remember the homies though.
Yeah, Soul Assassin. Are those homies? I remember those in high school. Papa Cotton. I still have homies. I've got the sad clown sitting on the 8-ball. Yeah, I know we have that one in the back somewhere too. Holy shit. Never seen these before, but then we didn't really have bubblegum machines. They were not common in Britain. Oh, guys, missed out on good stuff.
No, we did. But like, it used to be like you get plastic rings or like badges, and that. Not them toys, really. Well, they used to do toys, but it'd be like sort of cats or dogs and that, things like that. But like there was egg machine sort of things. Like sometimes you had bubble gum in them, but there was like a bubble gum machine, but they had like little eggs with
little toys.
Right.
Huh?
Yeah. Well, it was a bubblegum machine design. It really is what it was.
I remember that. You get the little football helmets that you put the logo, the sticker logo on the side.
Now, here's another one. Now, I know most of us probably remember the little plastic football helmets, but do you also remember they were selling like miniature mugs with sports teams on them?
In those machines?
Yes.
Nah, I don't.
I have a few of them, and they were sitting in the same boxes with all those little homies, Mijos, and Rascal figures. So I had a few of them. They were hockey ones. Like one had like Islanders on it. I forget what the other ones were. But yeah, they look like little miniature coffee mugs.
Yeah.
Papa Cotton says that he's also got 3 of the original Strawberry Shortcake figures. They were his sisters, and they still smell. Sure, they were your sisters.
Yeah. That's awesome, Papa Con. I had Strawberry Shortcake figures, and I totally regret getting rid of all that stuff.
Yeah, he said he found them after cleaning out his parents' house. Yeah, amazing what parents tend to just hide away. No. I'm not creative. Oh. Yes, he knows what I'm talking about. He has a mug for the Arizona Cardinals. Yeah. Yeah, I remember those. I remember that. I have a few of them. I'm pretty sure that at the time, they were probably things that my mother had picked up because she was probably looking for, because she liked the New Jersey Devils and she liked the San Jose Sharks. And she was probably buying a whole bunch of these mini mugs out of the machines, hoping to get that, and never did. And she just gave me all the other ones that she didn't want. Like, here, do something with these. Here, I'll just throw them in a crate. There they go. Bye. But, yeah, and doesn't ring a bell, huh, Trina?
Those little figures? No, I've never seen those before.
Wow. I mean, I could understand it if, people like across the pond maybe didn't see them because that might not have been something that was marketed over there.
I've never heard of them.
Yeah, here in the States, they were everywhere. Like, you could not go to a Toys R Us KB Toy Store or any of the other ones while seeing one of those damn machines filled with those damn homie figures. They were everywhere.
If they were the little, okay, so they were in those like little gumball machine things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I always walked past those and never even like paid attention to them.
Oh, I always looked at those things because
Yeah.
you just never know. Because sometimes they really had some weird shit in there.
They used to have these
Yeah, like as I say, we used to have them and that, but like we didn't have any of them figures. But they used to do badges, and I got this AC/DC badge, but my nana gave it away because she thought it was bisexual.
Tommy, do you remember the cowboys that they had in the? It was like they were in the bubble, but they used to come in little bags inside the bubble, and it was piece by piece. You put the little cowboy figure together.
Yes.
Like you put the little bandana, the hat, the bandolier.
Yeah, they had a few like build ones like that.
Yeah, those ones.
Yeah.
Those were probably my favorite ones to get out of the machine.
Well, here's another one. Like early on, like this was like early '80s, maybe even late '70s when you first started seeing them. Do you remember like the little? It was called the worm. Some places called it a snake. But
No,
it was like
you showed me it because I had no idea what you were talking about.
Yeah, it was like a little fuzzy critter with a string on the end of it, and you would kind of like put the string in between your hands and pull it, so it made it look like it was like snaking around your fingers.
I'd never seen that till you showed me that picture.
No.
They also had, and maybe you guys might remember this. You remember like they had the octopus and
the
spider, the
ones
stick
you throw up,
ones.
the sticky
Yep.
against the wall. Yeah.
Oh yeah, those came in cereal boxes.
Yeah,
They also came in the
machines
bubblegum
too,
machines or
Yeah,
those
they had them in
bubble.
machines too.
Those dirty bastards.
Early on too, like this is like the 70s when they first started, like you start seeing these big machines like that. They also put miniature cap guns.
Yep, I remember those
there.
too.
We have one or two left. The rest of them kind of fell apart over the years, but we have one or two of them left that came out of a bubblegum machine. Let's see what everybody is saying in the chat. I like the picture of the Swamp Thing and the girl. Going back to that, because he was catching up on the stream. I used to like those machines because it was easier for me to scrounge quarters. Yeah, you know what? I think at the end of the day, when you're leaving the store, it's just like a little bit of extra. It's almost like for a kid, especially, it's almost like that instant gratification. Okay, you got to wait till you get home to unbox the toy if you were able to get a toy from your parents, but that machine on the way out of the store gave you instant gratification. You could have something right now, and maybe if you got 4 quarters off your parents, you'd be able to get a toy thing out of the machine and probably candy, because they always had the candy machines right there too as well. They never missed an opportunity to scrounge as much from the kids as they possibly could on the way out of the store. You know what? I don't blame them, because I was one of those kids. I mean, hell, even when I was taking my daughter there when I was an adult, I would still stop and get stuff out of the damn machines. Show up with a sack of quarters, right? I hear you. Oh no, time profit.
Tommy, did you also get those sticker machines?
Yes.
The flat slot with the little the shiny. They had the shiny.
where it gave you the cardboard and inside was the sticker.
Yeah.
You can get temporary tattoos from them now too.
Yep.
Yeah. They used to do that back in the day too. Now you got them one of two ways. Sometimes you'd get them with the card sleeve protecting it, or sometimes you just wrap up in one of the little plastic bubbles.
Well, didn't you also? Because we got them like wrapped in around bubble gum, and then obviously the bubble gum and the tattoo was wrapped in a little.
Yes, in a wrapper.
Yeah.
Bazooka Joe used to come with like mini tattoos like that at one time.
Yeah, because the chewing gum wasn't that great, but
Oh my god, it was so hard.
No, you know what the worst was? The chewing gum that came
the
with the damn old
cards.
cards.
Oh,
Yes!
God.
Oh, God, that stuff was horrible.
It would just crumble. It wasn't even gum. I don't know what it was.
And then sometimes like it depended on the weather. If it was hot, like the gum would leave fucking marks all over the top, like what on the top card.
Yeah, the oil inside the gum would start breaking off and getting onto the card.
Yeah, leaving as Trina said, the gum like really dusty.
Yeah.
Well, I brought a bunch of old cards back from my parents' house, and a bunch of them are sealed. So, and somebody was telling me, well, you should open one up and chew the gum for a minute. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to chew 30 to 40-year-old gum. I just don't know if I am willing to do that to myself.
Yeah,
you have to, otherwise you're a quitter.
Yeah, and if you get like monetized or something, that's something you have to do.
Well, I'm pretty sure that ain't never happening. YouTube has found the way to strip every hour away from me as I'm building hours. So, fuck you, YouTube.
And you have to do it on camera.
Was I the only one who was poor and had to reuse the same piece of bubble gum for weeks? After 3 weeks, it was impossible to blow a bubble.
The trick was to put it in like a little bowl with water and sugar.
Oh, really? There's actually a trick to soften it?
Yeah, and it kept the gum sweet as well. You just,
Now, I thought if you expose gum to water, it hardens.
Yeah. Well, the cold water, because if you ever get chewing gum in your hair or
peanut
clothes,
butter, right? Peanut butter?
No.
You're supposed to use peanut butter for your hair, I think.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, no, but good is to freeze it. You know, like if it's in the hair, you'd have to do it with ice cubes, but you freeze the chewing gum and then
so you can break it off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense, actually.
Does anyone also remember those stupid little sponge toys that you pour the water on and you put them in water?
Still make them.
To grow.
They still make them. Yeah, I bought one for the wife because she likes alligators. So I'd gotten her one of those maybe, I don't know, a few years ago. It was one of those little alligators you're supposed to dunk in water. Is supposed to grow like 10 times the size or something.
Yeah, I had a gremlin. It's stupid.
That's cool.
You can't do anything.
So so if after you put it in water, what do you do with it? Like it just sits in the water for like forever?
It's supposed to shrink in the water, though.
I think once it gets dry, it shrinks.
Okay.
Yeah, it just expands. The joy is just watching it expanding.
Yeah.
Really
that usually is a joy, yeah.
Yeah.
We got to get off expanding topic because Trina's going to get worked up. I have another clip for everybody. Old Skool continues with the weird and anomalous, the things that maybe many of us just forgot existed. So this one comes by way of Marvel and Just Toys from New York. 1989, we've got the bendy Incredible Hulk. Let's see if we can get this guy to stand. This guy's been around a long time. I'll be shocked if he does stand. These things were kind of neat. I mean, come on, the bendy things, everybody had one at some point. But there you go. Incredible Hulk as a bendy figure. I mean, this is one of the things that they were putting out on the markets for a lot of kids at the time because these things were uber cheap to make and they could just mass market them to many different stores, not just the big ticket stores. This is for a lot of those lower end stores and eventually what would become all the dollar stores. Something simple to get out there for kids. You'd see these at a lot of flea markets as well. Anyway, guys, you remember the bendy figures? Do you remember Bendy Hulk? Maybe Bendy Spider-Man or some of the other superheroes? Yeah, let us know about what you think about this. I'm sorry, Steve. I had already hit the button on it when you started to talk.
Yeah, I said Trina was about to mute herself for a little while.
Slasher's back.
Yeah, I just got an internet KO for a couple seconds.
That's all right. At least it wasn't like the one I got.
Yeah.
No, yeah. You remember that Hulk? Awesome. Yeah, we used to have a bunch of these ones. We had Batman, we had Superman, Spider-Man, obviously the Hulk. I can't remember who else we had off the top of my head, but yeah, there were tons of these things out there.
Yeah. I don't remember any of the superhero ones, but there was Muppet ones where you'd have Kermit the Frog and Miss Piggy and Animal and all that.
I remember having a Pink Panther one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Steve, I had one of them too. You know what else I had? Gumby and Pokey.
Yeah.
The thing though, like the Hulk was showing, when you sort of like want to stand them up, they always look like if they're some kind of like think the second coming of Christ.
What's up, Decepticons? Cave Comics and Toys, man. What's up, man? I hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining us. Taking a trip down old school memory lane. Yeah, I found that one and I just started laughing hysterically when I found that Bendy Hulk, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, that's going into the I'm going to film this and use this. And one of the other things I found and I thought about filming it is, you guys remember at one point, besides the Bendy figures, they were also doing like blow up figures.
Well,
inflatable? Like
inflatables, yeah, the inflatables.
But
I had
like,
this. It was a vinyl.
Size?
No, these things were like probably like 12 inches or bigger. I have a Superman. He comes with a little vinyl cape and everything, and he's just a inflatable figure.
Yep, I remember those.
Did they have an inflatable Lady J?
I'm sure if they did, you would have one and it would be sticky by now.
I'll look it up for you, Stig.
Needs to be a full size though.
I think you're looking in the wrong market, Steve. Wrong market.
With the bendy thing.
Yeah, I can't bring up that website on the screen.
Well, it's for decorative purposes only.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
it's just where you're going to be using it to decorate is the problem.
Showing her my snake eye.
Right before the storm, she's going to shadow her.
Yeah. Yo, Joe.
No, all good, Decepticon. Appreciate you stopping in. I mean, they even did. You guys, Trina, you might remember this one. So when they did like the little Gizmo figure, they didn't. They had the in between for the small size figure. They didn't have a fully posable stripe until you seen like the 12-inch figure, but they did have like I want to say he was maybe about 7 to 10 inches tall. They had a stripe who was a bendy.
Oh man, I probably, let's see if I can find it.
Because I know I had that one. I had the stripe and the bendy. I don't know if I still have it and all that stuff back there. I might. But I remember having that one, and I had like the little rubber and plastic gizmo, which I had shown off before. I did the drunken review on that one too. Or I just kind of tossed it on the table.
I remember that one.
I wanted to go low effort on that one.
Yeah, he looks familiar. Yeah, he does look familiar.
Now, as far as like other bendy figures, does anybody else ever remember any other ones like brands that we haven't even mentioned?
I was saying the Muppets and like and Stig was like Pink Panther and that. Yeah, they did quite because like did Tom and Jerry, but it was more plastic.
Didn't they have a Roger Rabbit line that was all bendy figures?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they would have done. Yeah.
Well,
I want to say
they definitely had Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck and stuff.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
Pluto.
Yeah, they did.
I remember having a Pluto.
I'm thinking about it now. I do remember Bugs Bunny as well.
And did they do like a girl's doll where it was like it looked like it was a pipe cleaner, but arms and legs on her, but it was a doll where she had like hair. I'd always see the adverts where like girls would be combing the hair.
That sounds familiar. Sounds like a commercial I saw back in the day.
Yeah, I forget what the doll was called though, but it was like a girly doll because it always looked like it had like armbands on.
They did a Miss Piggy.
I need to pop off though because it's getting late.
All right. Well, I'm getting ready to hit into the last clip right now. So if you got to go, Stig, thank you for stopping in, and wish you an awesome night, man. Get some rest, buddy.
Oh yeah, I will. And thank you for having me on, and thank you to the panel and the chat for being awesome company as always.
All right. Yeah. Do you got anything coming up?
No. Things usually pop up in the mornings, but as far as YouTube, no. We just ended Teresa's book stream on Saturday, so that was 2 years, and we went through 10 books chapter by chapter. So we figured that was a good place to stop, so we could, we've done it for 2 years, and that's longer than most YouTube shows last, right?
Yeah, what kind of books?
Nice.
What books?
Oh, usually fantasy books. We went through a lot of the Tolkien stuff and things like that. So the only regular thing I have now is a Mora stream. So,
And that's usually once a month.
Twice. We do the Cringe Factory thing once per month, and then we do a top 10 list thing once per month. So, yeah, I'm going to get to watch a lot more movies and read a lot more books, unless YouTube.
No, you're always welcome to come on here and bring your perspective.
Oh yeah. Well, I usually just pop on and say fucked up shit. 10 tends to work.
Steve, thanks for being on, guys. Be sure to check out. Jesus, now I'm forgetting Mara's channel name. Shadow.
Jade Shadow.
Jade Shadow. I don't know why. I still think OG Mara Jade. I always think of that first. I don't know why. I still do. And be sure to check out Miss Martin Muses. Stop by, give her a little love. She's getting close to monetization. She's getting close. She'll probably get there before me, like full monetization. She'll get to the partnership program, no problem. And she may get monetized before I ever do. So stop by and give her some love.
Anyway, take care and be well, and have a good night.
All right, Steve, you have a good one. And we're going to get into the last prepared clip I had for the night. And guys, first off, I just want to thank everybody who's already stopped on the panel and everybody has come and hung out in the chat. You guys are truly amazing. You're adding your take in the comments, and I'm watching and I'm reading it all. Yeah, the bendy Pink Panther lost his tail. Oh,
yeah.
no.
Oh, and really nasty because it'd just be a bit of like quite a long bit of wire. Yeah, a good like 2 or 3 inches worth of wire just pruded out.
Well, where those things would always fail is when the kids took them into the bathtub because they had them holes in the back where the wire was.
Yeah,
and the water would get in there and it would just rot the wire out.
Yeah. And then you'd have like a Pink Panther with a broken back, a broken.
But we're going to get into one last one. This one is coming way by a food company. And we've talked about this one a long time ago, and some people had actually mentioned it a few times in the chat. Like I said, I pay attention to what you guys say, so I am bringing this one. We only found a couple of them, and I know there's more. I just don't know where they're at in the back. But here's what we got for this one. Is that time again? It is time for Old Skool 1991, coming by way of Burger King through Warner Brothers. We got Daffy Duck and we got Taz sitting here as figurines. These ones are really cool by themselves, but that's not all, because they are in disguise technically right now. Because when criminals come out at night, they get into their superhero getup and they become Taz, Flash, and Bat Duck. I know there were a couple more for this series, and I know we have them somewhere. We got Petunia as Wonder Woman, and we got Bugs as Super Duck or Super Rabbit. I can't seem to locate them right now. They're just buried in the jumble of toys, but these by themselves are really cool. This was a very interesting idea for Warner Brothers and Burger King to collaborate on. Anyway, guys, do you remember these Burger King toys? Be sure to let us know about it.
I thought those were McDonald's. I thought McDonald's had those.
No, they were Burger King.
I still have a bunch of my McDonald's stuff. I have like the Muppet Babies ones. I have that. I have one of the Tiny Toons cars. Did you have the Tiny Toons cars where you two characters? There's one on each side of the car, Tommy.
I think we had a couple of them, because there were so many like jumbles of basically fast food toys sitting in my father's house. It was amazing. Like there was probably a 28-gallon bucket to be filled of just fast food toys, because there were so damn many of them.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was the plus side of getting your parents to buy a Happy Meal for you.
Well, the toys were interesting back then.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at some of the stuff that a lot of these fast food restaurants were doing at the time. So, especially when you got into the Transformers craze. So, I mean, you had McDonald's with the McChangeables. So they had transforming food items.
Yeah.
Over at Wendy's, they had partnered up with Tonka, and they had 4 special GoBots made just for Wendy's to sell with their kids' meals. I do have all 4 of them sitting in the back too.
I remember you used to get a lot of cool shit at McDonald's. Like for the 2 shitty Batman movies, they had those glasses. Those glasses were fucking awesome.
Well, do you remember the little figurines that they had too?
They had Batman figurines? No, I don't remember the figurines.
Yeah, they had little Batman figurine toys that came out with the movies as well.
In McDonald's? No, I don't remember.
Yeah, they had them. They were kind of weird looking, but they were neat. I mean, I even remember when Transformers first released Beast Wars. They did a 4-figure set, and I think that one was Burger King. I think it might have been Burger King, but they had four figures made specifically for that fast food restaurant that was supposed to be a tie into Beast Wars.
I remember I had it was like one of those tops for a pencil. You know, the pencil tops they used to have for different, they always had like different characters and shit. I had I'm pretty sure I got this from McDonald's. It was Slimer, but he was attached to what was supposed to be the top of a building, and he had this piece of plastic that attached to his head so he could spin around the building.
Yeah, I think, Sasha, you are right. I think it is the McDonald's one. But there was some from Burger King and all. But yeah, I'll show you this.
Now, Bone says that they have Frosty.
Frosty who?
Snowman?
Yeah, they was the ones, weren't they?
Yeah, they're the ones.
Yeah,
I think I remember these.
yeah, Happy Meal.
Happy Meal.
Yeah,
So Happy Meal is actually McDonald's.
Yeah.
I could have swore I seen a Burger King stamp on
yeah.
Maybe.
Well, like, thingy, I'll show you because like there was Burger King's was
Yeah, that was. Oh shit, I have that. You see those? All right, you see those stands, Jens? The four figures: Batman, Wonder Woman, Darkseid, Superman. I have that Superman. That was Burger King. Yeah, it was a cup holder. I have that Superman.
Yeah. Oh, well, like these are the ones Burger King did.
Okay.
It is practically, but they've got Tweety Pie because as
Harley Quinn,
where he looks really because Tweety Pie's a boy, even though but Tweety Pie's a boy, and look, he's really pissed off. It looks like they've like tried to like make him
force a sex change on him.
Yeah, they're like, "Come on, Tweety, get the Harley Quinn costume on," and he's put it on reluctantly because like he's having to keep his Warner Brother contract going up, isn't he? So
was that Sylvester Joker?
Yeah. At least I've got a female, the Bugs Bunny's bitch. Don't forget her name.
Who the hell is that next to Daffy as Batman?
It looks like Taz.
Oh.
But the one laying on its side, the gray and blue one?
No,
the other side. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can't make out who the hell that is because its face is. Oh, it's supposed to be Porky? Okay. Yeah, Porky with a green mask. Okay, I see it now.
I think he's supposed to be Robin.
Yeah.
So who's Taz supposed to be? He's supposed to be Mr. Freeze? Because he's blue?
Yeah, I can't see Taz's head.
Look at that. I'll get a bit better picture of that.
Maybe. Because sometimes when you visit these sites, they take you to anything but pictures.
Yeah, well, hopefully.
Oh, Bone was talking about the Frosty from Wendy's.
Oh.
I don't think they ever had a toy for an actual Frosty. I don't think. You got more protein from chewing on the plastic toy than eating the food. They didn't have as much crap back in the food when I was younger. I mean, honestly, the food tasted a lot different back then, especially compared to what they do now. But
you mean before that supersized meat guy came in and fucked everything up?
Yeah, right.
What?
When that guy made the Supersize Me movie, it kind of pressured McDonald's into tinkering with their menus.
Oh, okay.
And the funny thing is to this day, they still don't really put 100% chicken in their McNuggets like they try to claim they do.
Oh, no, you can tell. You can tell it's not. Yeah, it's a low quality.
Well, it's a partial chicken meat paste that they use in it. And there's very little meat actually in it.
Well, yeah, and like if you go and like you go to Popeyes and you get some chicken nuggets, that's real chicken. You can tell because like it's like real meat. It's stringy like chicken, and yeah.
Oh, Time Prophet says they didn't have McDonald's until 1974. That's kind of odd, the way freaking Croc was expanding McDonald's. You'd think that he would have zipped over the pond right away. Guy was popping those things up all over the place. That was actually a good movie. I like that movie. I don't really want to talk too much about new stuff, but The Founder was a pretty decent movie, I thought. I enjoyed it. I watched the holy dog shit out of it. The wife complained, "You're watching that again?" I said, "I like this one." What you got? Oh, okay, there we go.
Who the hell is Taz supposed to be?
I think it's Freeze.
Yeah.
I think it's Freeze.
Oh, is it not? Oh, is it Cyborg?
Oh, Cyborg. Yeah, okay.
Oh, is it
Yeah.
Cyborg?
Yeah. Look at the side of his head
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and his,
All
and
right.
his eye.
That's
One
horrible.
red eye. Yeah.
So who's the one laying on the ground? Is that the Roadrunner?
Yeah, what's that? It looks like
Just
a
scroll
snake.
right down.
Yeah. Road. I think
That's
it's supposed
Road-
No, it's
Roadrunner.
Wile E. Coyote, ain't it?
No, that's
No.
Roadrunner.
Okay.
But who the hell is he supposed to be?
to be
Flash?
Flash. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be the Flash, isn't it?
Oh, that makes
Okay,
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but couldn't they do something more with the side of him?
Well, I mean,
No,
yeah,
like,
these
He's
are
supposed to be
poor
running,
designs.
isn't he? And when he's running, his feet like go blurry, and they like give him like yellow boots, haven't they? So they'll be like,
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, I see what you mean.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you.
yeah, look at Tweedy. He's not happy.
They couldn't make him the Riddler or somebody.
Yeah. Look, he's even having to do cross-legged. Like they said, oh yeah, that doesn't look camp enough. Cross
Yeah,
your
like
legs.
they have him in a sassy pose.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not happy.
The side's supposed to be a burger. Maybe.
And yeah. Oh yeah. It's a mask Porky Pig's wearing. Why is it green? Robin's mask ain't green, is it?
Yeah, I know. That's what I was
No.
thinking. Why is it green?
Yeah, his mask was black.
Yeah.
I think like some certain toys though, they did give Robin a green mask, but I don't ever remember him in the comics with a green mask.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think this is a good spot to start winding down. We are at over 2 hours and 46 minutes, and I want to get off. I want to get something to eat.
Mhm.
Yeah, same here. But good shit, Tommy. Good show.
No,
Yeah.
this was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
First off, I want to thank everybody in the chat. Epic fail. Castaway, thank you for being here. Time Prophet, thank you for being here. What else does Time Prophet say? Did you know in the original Batman they didn't have a stuntman for Robin, only for Batman? Interesting. Bone, of course, was in the house as well. Thank you for being here, Bone. Papa Cotton was in the house. Thank you for being here, Papa. Decepticons Cave of Comics and Toys was also in the house. I'm Not Creative 22 was in the house. Thank you for being here as well. DJ Ronnie G was here. Curtis YZ was in the house. Thank you, Curtis, man. It's always a pleasure to see you. Soul Assassin, of course, holding it down in the chat as well. Thank you for being here. Who else did we have? We had the Memes of Destruction was in the house. Of course, Trina was in the chat as well, hanging out with all the good folks there. And I know we had a few other people that had stopped in. Who else?
Jedi Bill.
Jedi Bill had popped in for a little bit. Thank you, Jedi Bill, for stopping in. Keely Chow, of course, had stopped in as well. Thank you, Keely, for being here.
Damaj and I came in with a run-in at the end.
Oh, really? Damaj and I was in the house. Nelson the Psych.
At the end.
Nelson the Psychopath was in the house as well. Underrated Destroyer was in the house. What's up? Thank you for stopping in. Of course, Doc was here. Thank you, Doc. Hey, guys, check out Doc's work. I do have links in the description down below. And let's see, did I miss anybody? I think I got everybody now. Let's see, I'm scrolling up. I think I got everybody. I think I did. But
explosion at the end.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I missed it. Tina was also in the house. My Lego Robin has a green mask. Huh. And what's going on, Damaj and I? Good to see you, bro. I hope that you were doing well. Thanks for stopping in. Just getting ready to wrap up right here. And we are going to hand it over to my fine panelist, Stieg, who already had the checkout. Stieg, thank you for being on. And we're going to hand it over first to, let's see.
What car is that coming up? Creep. Drive by.
Yeah, thanks for letting me chill, Tommy. Talk some old school toys. This week, Wednesday night. I'm not sure what time yet. We're gonna be checking out a show from 2006 called Wrestling Society X. And then on Saturday, we're going to be reviewing a movie, Surviving the Game.
I like that movie.
Yeah, that's me. That's me for the week.
Thanks for stopping on, guys.
Yeah,
we also did a full review of all 3 Punisher movies. So if you want to check them out, get a little idea of our thoughts on it, be sure to stop by Slasher's channel and check those out.
Thank you, man.
Thank you for being on here.
Yeah, my idea of all 3 Punishers, it's 10 out of 10 because the Punisher films, even though 2 of them ain't that great, but
or at least you admit that they're not that great.
Well, not Punisher films, but I say they're both good films, or if you didn't call them a Punisher film.
We're going to hand it over, Jens. So hold on. Here we go. Everybody knows whose outro this is by now.
This must be where they sacrificed virgins.
Jens, go ahead.
Yeah.
I just want to say this was a great stream, a lot of fun. You had some awesome stuff, Tommy, and it was awesome to be with you guys and awesome to see everyone in the chat. And I hope you guys all have a great 4th of July tomorrow. And check out my channel for horror reviews on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. I won't be doing one this week, but next week we'll do one. I actually haven't decided on the movie yet, so I'll let you know as soon as I know. And yeah, otherwise I see you on Tommy streams or Vinny streams. And hope you all have a good night.
Thank you for being here, Trina.
It was awesome to be here.
Guys, be sure to stop by and check out her channel for those real horror reviews. And, of course, some of the figure reviews that she has out there, including some of those Toony Terrors, because she's definitely collected a lot more of those things than I have. Amazing stuff that all these people are doing. They're amazing creators, and they're so sorely underappreciated, I think. Guys, be sure to stop by and check her out. It costs you absolutely nothing to do it. Thank you for being here, Trina.
Thank you.
And we're going to hand it over to our UK representation.
Well, he don't know talking good like me and you, so his vocabularistics is limited.
Yes, well, I'm going to talk really good on this day.
You're going to talk really good, huh?
Well, we're waiting.
Oh, you want me to talk like an American, is it? All right, then. No.
Such heroic nonsense.
Yes. I'm done.
Yeah. Well, I figured though, Tommy, before I shared you picture of my last ditch attempt to see if that's the insect GoBot things. Have you seen it?
That is it.
Yeah.
Creepy GoBots, yeah. Or that guy's name is Creepy.
Yeah, finally found it. Yeah.
Maybe they were called Monster Bots. Maybe that's what it was. I'm thinking they were called Monster Bots.
Yeah, I just googled GoBots old toys insects and I had to look through because it was just bringing up like Bumblebee sort of like all the time.
Oh, that guy, that's actually a Bug Bite from GoBots.
Oh, right. Now it makes sense then. Yeah, because I was thinking, Bumblebee, but I'm thinking bumblebees are insects, aren't they? Even though they fly around.
Well, here's a funny one on Bug Bite real quick. So when Transformers bought out all the rights for GoBots, they bought out the names and everything like that. They wanted to include the name Bug Bite into their toy line. So if you look at that one, like it's almost in the center, it's got like some G1 looking mini cars straight up.
That one.
Yeah, no, the purple one. The purple, yeah, that one. So you see a white Volkswagen right there that looks like Bumblebee. That is actually Bug Bite. Now, they couldn't do them in yellow because then it would be copyright infringement against Bondi, since Bondi still holds the toy rights, but they don't hold the name rights. So Hasbro as Transformers, they put them in white and called it Bug Bite, and then that carried over into the Netflix version of the show when they did that. And once again, Bug Bite is like a white Volkswagen looking type of vehicle.
Right, yeah. Now it makes sense. Because I was going to say, I was thinking it was Bumblebee, but I didn't even look, but it does say Bug Bite underneath him. And he has got like antennas now. I'll look at it closely.
It's actually a gun, believe it or not, sitting on the top.
Oh, right. Cause like, yeah, like oh, he's got a little face in that.
Well, that's somebody drew that in there. That's a drawing somebody did. And they put like a Bumblebee looking face in there.
Yeah. Oh, fan hat.
All right, I'm gonna go grab some dinner, guys.
All right, Slasher. All right, people. All right.
That's
All right,
Tommy.
Jens.
Tommy, I gotta message you later. Tommy and Jens, I gotta message you guys later to let you so we can figure out what time to do this during the week. The Wrestling Society X review. All right, guys.
All right, no problem. No problem.
All right.
Have a good one.
Have a good 4th.
All right, you too.
Later.
All right, Jens, go ahead and get started with your outro so we can all get out of here.
Yeah. Well, I'll take about 4 minutes, so we do a 3-hour stream. But yeah, I'll need to release a video with a review of Extraction 2, and hopefully I'll be doing a stream tomorrow between 12 and 2 UK time, which is between 7 and 9 Eastern, 6 and 8 Central. And I've got a Twitter account, 278 Pedersen.
Awesome. Jens, thanks for coming on and being part of this.
Oh, well, thanks for having us on.
It was my pleasure. Once again, I've been looking to bring Going Old School back for a while, and I was looking for the right time, and I figured, now is the right time to do it. We're getting ready to move into July 4th. What better time to celebrate everything, especially after finally hitting 1,700 subs? Of course, minus numbers in the watch hours. Thank you, LubeTube, for screwing us over again, you son of a bitches. But it kind of is what it is. You got to kind of take the good with the bad. So there was a win, even though there was a loss following it. There was still a win, and I have no doubt that we will keep scraping and climbing right back up into the watch hours eventually. And you know what? Thank you for everybody that's been along for the ride. Your support is tremendous. It's amazing, and it really does warm a guinea pig's fuzzy heart. And just as an update on Cringer is doing much better. The doctor has prescribed him some extra medication, so he is completely on the mend, and hopefully with everything that he's got now from the vet, he should be in tip-top shape and ready to boss everybody around here in the house, because the goddamn pig is bougie. What can I say? But guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of this. Remember, never let anybody tell you what you can or can't say, what you should or should not think, because your compliance and your silence gives consent. And we will catch you down the road on the next time, the next one, because who knows when Going Old School will come again. But every time it does, we're going to try to make it a very special event. Later, everyone.
We are the Guinea Pig Collective. All will be assimilated. Resistance is futile.